Today on Hope and Glory.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience that stays with you throughout your career when you play at places and the Premier League clubs. And you see the level, the standard is obviously completely different, as you would imagine. But yeah, it's good to kind of to get a feel for that, because ultimately we all want to play where them boys are.
I've no idea who's going to play. I say that carefully, like we put a team out in our heads, we've worked on it and stuff like that. So, you can't change everybody. But Paul could make 10 changes, he could make 2. That's where I've no idea. We have a look at where we think things will change or who may stay or whatever. But I've always said in the 14, 15 months, we always focus on ourselves.
Hope.
Oh, well, that's sensational from the in-swinger. It was a first-time effort, and he curls it into the top corner.
And glory.
He's going to go for goal. Oh, yes! He's chipped it in from the angle. It's a fantastic finish.
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
Hello, good evening. You're listening to Hope and Glory. Build up for Lincoln City away at Premier League side Sheffield United in round 2 of the League Cup. Kick off at 7:45, but between now and then we'll be bringing you all the build up. Beth with you through till 7 before I hand you over to Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone, who are already over in Sheffield setting up to bring you the commentary this evening. So between now and 7, I'll let you hear from Limps head coach Mark Kennedy, his thoughts on both Saturday's win and what's going to happen tonight. How do you beat a Premier League side when you're in League One? We'll hear all of that. Plus, I'm going to be chatting a bit more about Cadwell. It's been 2 days, I know, but one of the great stories that came out of Cadwell, I will be bringing that to you again this evening. So if you want to get in touch, send me your score predictions, send me a selfie of you on your way over to Sheffield. I know there's about 3,000 of you over there. Do get in touch. You can text 81333, start your message LN, or tweet us at BBC Sport Links.
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
We've also got some great music coming up this evening, starting with a bit of Justin Timberlake. That is Justin Timberlake here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. I've got some Texas and some Pink here before 7 o'clock, when I'll hand you over to Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone over at Bramall Lane. Before that, though, let's hear from Mark Kennedy. If you're listening on your way to Sheffield right now, maybe you're tuning in on your way home from work and you'll be listening to the commentary on Radio Lincolnshire instead of going to Bramall Lane. Hello, good evening. That's, of course, commentary coming up from 7:45. For now, let's hear what head coach Mark Kennedy had to say at yesterday's pre-match press conference. The Imps, of course, coming off the back of that brilliant 3-0 win at the weekend. And he's been talking to Rob Makepeace about seeing patterns of play from training being executed in the matches.
Like on Saturday, Ethan's goal came straight off the training ground. So we walked, like Danny's flick's unbelievable, there's no doubt. Like we didn't walk on Danny flicking the ball. But we've done some specific work of how we felt we could side Blackpool, get out, to enable us to get out the other side. Then what happens after that is down to the guys, essentially. So I didn't know whether you would team me up there with that. That wasn't pre-arranged. So it's brilliant to see stuff like that. But to answer your question, I presented a playbook to the board last week on who we are, what we are, and why we are. And the pleasing thing for me is when we go through our playbook, we've got multiple actions, phases of play that are continuous over various different games and go through the tours from, we're seeing like the same actions and build up playing to midfield, creating finalisation and stuff like that. So stuff like that is very, very important to us, and stuff happens within the games continuously that we do work on. So it doesn't always come off, but it's nice when it does. But I do think we've got a very coachable group who've executed that, and biggest compliment is when we try and present to players, we can show them, obviously we profile players, we can show them exactly, this is exactly what we do in your position, this is what it looks like. I shouldn't be saying this and giving other people help here, but this is what we do, and now here's a picture of you doing it, and you put the two of them together.
And does that come through just repetition on the training ground? Is that the biggest factor?
Yeah, 100%. And again, speaking to the board last week, I don't have 100 different patterns of play. If somebody else does, they're kidding you. We've got a specific way of playing in and out of possession. We've got multiple variations, and we're very, very good at it. But it's something that I work on continuously on the training ground. So repetition is a big thing. I'll never get bored of that. I think Ronald Koeman's really boring passing drill. He's got a book on it, and it's just repetition. So yeah, it's something we're big on. I'm not embarrassed to say that. But everything we do is built around their shape. It doesn't matter what we do. Everything's got a principle to play, even if it's just a game-related possession. It always revolves around the principle to play.
Lincoln City head coach Mark Kennedy there. We'll hear a bit more from him after a bit of music. But we are getting closer to Lincoln City's game against Sheffield United. That's the second round of the League Cup. Commentary coming in just over an hour, and I'll hand you over to Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone, who are already over in Sheffield, already set up. I've seen some of their photos. I'll hand you over to them at 7 o'clock. Beth with you until then, though. And will we see a cup set tonight? Lincoln very much the underdogs going into tonight's game, and it's sort of the game that Sheffield United might take for granted. We did see a couple of games go against the odds yesterday, didn't we? Brentford, they needed penalties to beat Newport County. Salford, they beat Leeds. Could Lincoln beating Sheffield United be the next headline? What does Imps head coach Mark Kennedy think about it? Well, Rob asked him how his team can beat a Premier League side tonight.
Very difficult, very hard. Paul's done an amazing job. Incredible reputation as coach. We played them last pre-season, and we were super impressed with them. We had 2 60-minute games, which I didn't particularly want. I didn't organise, and they give us a thumping in one of them. But they got really good players throughout the squad. I know Sunday was difficult against City, but I thought they were outstanding. I thought they were so unlucky and showed structurally out of possession. I thought they were outstanding. I thought they were really unlucky. And again, you've only got to look at them last year, the performances and where they finished and how they went about things. So really hard, but we go into every game believing we can win a game. We don't always win them all, but yeah, we're looking forward to it, and when we're going there to win a cup tie.
Obviously, the quality of Manchester City compared to your side is quite different, but can you take things from what Man City did on Sunday and try and implement them?
It's a good question. I think the game will be quite different. I mean, obviously, from Saturday, Sheffield, pretty much played with 5-3-2 low block, and we're camped outside that. So, the game's not going to look like that for Sheffield United. Going to be different things. So there's obviously different things we can look at. When we presented the team, we evidenced bits and pieces from that game for sure.
The manager, Paul Heckingbottom's talked about trying to give some of their players minutes, vital minutes. Does that make it difficult to work out who's going to play, or the fact that you can work out already who's had minutes for them, you can maybe pick a team potentially that they're going to choose?
Yes and no. So I've no idea who's going to play. I say that carefully. Like we've put a team out in our heads. We've worked on it and stuff like that. So you can't change everybody. But Paul could make 10 changes. He could make 2. That's where I've no idea. We have a look at where we think things will change or who may stay or whatever. But I've always said in the 14-15 months we always focus on ourselves, and it doesn't matter who we play. We played Southampton in the cup, and I thought we were excellent, and I thought we deserved something from the game. We focused on ourselves. Saturday we played Blackpool, we focused on ourselves. We played Sheffield, we focused on ourselves, whilst doing our due diligence on the opposition for sure.
You touched on Southampton there, Bristol City as well. Great away days, great performances. Can you use that experience?
Not something I talked about. We kind of build on who we are and what we've done. We've been together on the whole for 15 months, and as you talked about earlier on about repetition of what we do, we've got a clear identity. Been really talking this year a lot on roles and responsibilities, and everybody's a clear understanding of who we are and what we are and their roles and responsibilities in the team. So as much as we take heart from the other cup games, it's a continuation of what we've been doing for what I see as quite a long time now.
With regards to injuries, illness, everybody come through all right from the weekend?
We're all okay.
Mark Kennedy, the Imps head coach there, mentioning those friendlies in the last pre-season. I did watch those, and I can't say I was gripped. They were a bit lacklustre, if I remember correctly. But Lincoln certainly aren't the team they were back then. We'll dissect that interview a little bit more after Scissor Sisters. But before that, Pink and Trustful. Still got some Estelle and a BBC Introducing artist to bring you before 7 o'clock, when I'll hand you over to Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone. But we'll quickly check in with them, Rob. I've seen your photo. Sky looks glorious in blue.
Yeah, it's a beautiful evening here. A little bit chilly. I think the temperature's going to drop as the sun disappears behind the stand to our left-hand side. But yeah, certainly a lovely evening, and already I can see probably about 100, 150 or so Lincoln fans have made their way into the ground and got their seats ready for what is going to be a sellout away end for a League Cup second round tie.
Yeah, around 300, 300 wouldn't be that good. 3,000 expected travelling Imps fans tonight. I think it's going to be quite an atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Lincoln's first visit here since the year 2000, so it's been quite a while since Lincoln last played at Bramall Lane, and the fact that the Premier League flag now flies on top of the stand opposite us as well makes it an attractive prospect. And Lincoln fans also as well will be hopeful that the club can reproduce what they did last season as well in this competition when they went on that record equaling run to the fourth round.
So run me through the lineup then.
Yeah, so quite a few changes actually made by Mark Kennedy tonight. So the team is, I'll go through that first and explain the players who are missing. Lucas Jensen in goal. The back five are Jack Burrows, TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell, Sean Rowan and Jaden Brown. Midfield two of Alistair Smith and Ethan Arahan. And a front three are Rico Hackett, Danny Mandroyu and Ben House. So in terms of the players that aren't playing, that were playing on Saturday, three of them are on the bench, so Adam Jackson, who you would expect not to have played tonight, Lasse Sorensen and Ethan Hamilton, they all dropped to the bench. There is no Paudie O'Connor tonight. You'll hear from Mark Kennedy after 7 o'clock on this. It's illness rather than injury. The other player who's not in the matchday squad is Tyler Walker. Now, he picked up a knock in training on Monday, which is why he's not available tonight. So the bench for the Imps, Lasse Sorensen, Adam Jackson, Teddy Bishop, Ethan Hamilton, Jordan Wright, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher and Jovan Makama.
Yeah, O'Connor, when I saw that list, he was the standout. When I make my graphic, he's just always on it. So I put him in it, and then I looked and I was like, I've got too many players. Oh yeah, O'Connor's not there. Apart from, if it weren't for the bookings last season, he'd have played every minute. So it would be a big loss without him.
Yeah, that is the real blow to not have Paudie O'Connor, especially as I've just seen Sheffield United starting 11, and they start with Cameron Archer up front, a man who's just cost many £1 million worth from Aston Villa. He starts up front with Ollie McBurney, so that's quite a formidable front two for Sheffield United, who've gone pretty strong, to be fair. Jayden Bogle, who played at the weekend, he came on and scored in the Premier League already this season. He starts tonight. Chris Basham, who's a regular for them as well, he starts tonight. John Egan, who captained the side against Man City at the weekend, he starts tonight. Ollie Norwood, another regular from Sheffield United, starts as well. So they've got pretty strong, which probably suggests that they do fear what Lincoln might offer after Lincoln nearly knocked out Southampton last season.
That is, yeah, I'm just looking at the squad now. It is rather strong. I don't know if some people have been expecting them to play it a little bit easy, maybe be a bit too big-headed going into the game. Someone on the bench that I kind of expected, someone who we saw at Boston recently, Femi Siriki, maybe someone who'd be expecting to get minutes in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not playing. We had a quick look pre-match and was trying to work out who Sheffield United would play, and they had a development game yesterday, and there were 7 players who didn't play in that development game who played in the previous one, expecting that some of them would have been involved. Most of them are on the bench, but certainly Femi Siriki was probably one that you expected maybe to get some minutes tonight. He's not been sent out on loan, although saying that, Jayden Bogle was on the bench, as are most of the first team players who are playing tonight. They were on the bench on Man City, so they need vital minutes. They've got a huge game here on Saturday against Everton, another side who are yet to start off extremely well in the Premier League. So that, I'm sure, will come into the thoughts of their manager. Their bench is mainly made up of fringe players, of development players. So they've not rested them in total. They've given quite a few starts tonight, but the ones that started on Sunday, who were not involved, are not involved at all.
Thank you for that, Rob. We will be back over to Bramall Lane in around 10 minutes' time with Rob and Mark home. Before that, let's have a little bit more music.
Today on Hope and Glory.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience that stays with you throughout your career when you play at places and the Premier League clubs, and you see the level that, like, the standard is obviously completely different, as you would imagine. But yeah, it's good to kind of to get a feel for that, because ultimately we all want to play where them boys are.
I've no idea who's going to play. I say that carefully, like we put a team out in our heads, we worked on it and stuff like that, so you can't change everybody, but Paul could make 10 changes, you could make 2. That's where I've no idea. We have a look at where we think things will change or who may stay or whatever, but I've always said in the 14-15 months, we always focus on ourselves.
Hope.
He's gone for the ambitious! He's gone from inside his own half! An unbelievable goal!
And glory.
Oh my goodness me! He's going to have a goal of the month competition on his own.
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
Good evening, live from Bramall Lane tonight. Can it be another magical evening in the League Cup for Lincoln City? Last season was a record equalling run to the fourth round, which included that memorable victory at Bristol City and being also close to knocking out what was Premier League Southampton at that time. Tonight, Lincoln City are going to hope to knock out a Premier League side, but they'll have to do it without captain Paudie O'Connor. He is ill. Tyler Walker's picked up a knock in training. He misses out as well. We'll run through your team in a few moments here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire and hear from the head coach. And they're going to be coming up against a strike force worth more than £35 million. Can the Imps cause a cup shock here in Sheffield? It's Hope and Glory. Rob Makepeace, Mark Cohn with you through until 10.
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
So let's start with your all-important team news then. Here's Lincoln City's 11 tonight. It is Lucas Jensen in goal. It's a back five. Jack Burrows at right wing back tonight. TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell makes his first start at centre-half, and Sean Rowan. Jaden Brown at left wing back coming into the team. Alistair Smith comes into the central midfield alongside Ethan Arahan. The front three is what remains from Saturday's great victory against Blackpool. Rico Hackett, Danny Mandroiu and Ben House. On the bench for the Imps, Lass Sorensen, who has dropped to the bench. Adam Jackson, who has dropped to the bench. Teddy Bishop, Ethan Hamilton, who is dropped to the bench. Jordan Wright, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher and Jovan McCarmer. Mark Cohn is our Lincoln City match summariser. We'll hear from Mark Kennedy in a moment, but it is a wonderful arena, this, isn't it? We walk in and it's spectacular.
Yeah, I've played it, been lucky enough, fortunate enough to play here a couple of times, and it's a fantastic atmosphere. So yeah, it's a great stadium. You know, look at the stands; they're almost on top of you as a player. So the atmosphere really comes through. It won't be a full house tonight, but still, 3,000 Imps fans down there will certainly make a noise. So yeah, I can't wait for the game.
No, it's going to be a really good occasion tonight for Lincoln City. What are going to be the key areas for Lincoln if they're going to win tonight? Where are the key battles, do you think?
Well, I think Sheffield United are going to set up virtually the same sort of system as Lincoln are. So there's going to be a lot of one-on-one battles. But you pointed out in the headlines, it's £30-odd million up front for Sheffield United. So, Alex Mitchell's coming in for his debut. He's got his hands full. TJ's going to have his hands full, and Sean Rowan's going to have his hands full. So, yeah, I think that's going to be critical. I think the midfield areas again will be critical. And then can we nick something on the break? We know what Ben House is about. We know what Danny Mandroiu, the form he's been in, attracting the attention. Can we get on the counter-attack? Can we do what we did at Southampton when we were a whisker away from taking that to penalties, apart from a dodgy refereeing decision? So can we get the right refereeing decisions tonight? And can we have a bit of luck? If so, we could take them all away here.
Yeah, note on the referee, Premier League official Paul Tierney in charge this evening. There is no VAR though, so we won't be having any of that, as there wasn't last year when we played at Southampton in the fourth round of the competition. We'll hear from Mark Kennedy in a second, but the one thing you can always say about Mark Kennedy, and he probably learnt this, I know the Chippenham game happened after the League Cup run, or the majority of the League Cup run, but he almost learnt a lesson that day that you want to have a strong team, and that a cup run can do you the world of good, and if you don't have a cup run, it can hit confidence hard.
Well, I think there's the other side of it as well. I think there's 3,000 supporters coming here, travelling here, on a Tuesday night. So he wants his team to perform in front of those as well, those fans that have come and supported the team. So I think there's a double-edged thing there that obviously he's got to put on performance, and also it's just a great place to play, Rob, isn't it? What I wouldn't give to put my boots back on and go and have a game here, but no, I think he'll just do what he normally does when we come away to big teams. I think he'll sit in, I think he'll keep it tight, and can we do a bit of magic from Danny Mandroiu? Can we have a bit of magic from Ben House or Rico? Can we just cause them problems on the counter-attack? And to be fair, Paul Heckingbottom, the Sheffield United manager, he's gone fairly strong with his squad. I mean, the skipper's playing, Egan's playing, you've got Chris Basham, who's a normal team, normally in the side. So, Erling McBurney and Cameron Archer, I mean, they're the standout two, aren't they? That probably everybody does know about and has heard about. So, yeah, I mean, the back three are going to have their hands full. But they've been capable of doing it before. Che Adams, I know he scored, but he was offside. I've still, it still wrangles with me a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's no difference to the Southampton game, is there? You just got to stand up, 11 against 11. Let's have it. Come on.
Yeah, well, kick-off is at 7:45 this evening. For those of you who keep a keen eye on Lincolnshire football, one notable name in the Sheffield United team as well is Femi Sariki, the former Boston United loanee, is on the bench tonight for Paul Heckingbottom's side. Right, let's hear from the Imps head coach, Mark Kennedy, and we started by talking about the absent skipper.
It's stunning. I was just chatting to Kieran Kieran walking out, he said, I've never been here before, it's lovely. It's a stunning stadium, it's a brilliant club, it's a huge club, so brilliant night hopefully.
No captain for you tonight though, what's the issue with Paulie?
No, look, thankfully, good and bad, thankfully he's not injured, he's okay, but he wasn't feeling 100%, so he wasn't fit to travel with us through illness.
And you've made quite a few changes in the defence, TJ coming back in, Alex Mitchell getting his first start as well.
Yeah, look, TJ's been outstanding this year. He's been really unlucky. I mean, I think he started 4 games. He hasn't been on the bench for the last couple, and I've explained to him why I'm not going to have 3 and 4 centre halves on the bench. So, but he's been brilliant. He's trained really well. He's come back in good shape. He's had a good pre-season, and Alex, like all players that are coming on loan, he wants to come in and play football. So it'll be nice to see him tonight. And he's come in and done well in training. We've been impressed with him, so it's a good opportunity for him tonight.
And Alistair Smith as well, getting his opportunity in the centre of midfield.
I'm a really big fan. I think in any other team he'd be playing, but the 2 boys have started the season exceptionally well, so I think when he's come on he's really impacted games. Lovely profile, lovely size, very good footballer, so again another one I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. He's one that's really unlucky not to be playing.
No Tyler Walker in the match day squad, what's the issue there?
No, look, Tyler would have been involved tonight. We've stepped up his training, he's working hard on that, but unfortunately picked up a small knock on Monday during training, so he misses out unfortunately. I don't know the outcome of that, but yeah, so he misses through injury.
We was trying to work out on the way here how many millions of pounds worth of talent you're going to be coming up against tonight, potentially. That's something the players have just got to thrive under, that kind of pressure coming up against those kind of players.
Look, it's a difficult one. I don't want to shoot, so I don't care about that. It's 11 human beings with 11 hearts, and nobody's heart's as big as theirs. But it doesn't mean look at Wolves last night. They're a Premier League team with Premier League players. It's an outstanding club, but it's just 11 men against 11 men, and on any given day anybody can beat anybody. Would I be surprised to see us come away and win tonight? No, I wouldn't at all. But if Sheffield United win, you'd go, well, that's fair enough. There's 2 leagues between us, but it's 11 v 11. Same size ball, same pitch, same size goal, same rules for everybody.
And you had a great couple of games in the League Cup last year against sides from higher leagues. Will your approach be similar tonight?
In terms of what, sorry?
Tactically and the way you approach it, without giving too many secrets away?
No, well, I don't hide from that. We are who we are. We're very good at what we do. I don't try and go to different teams, and we tweak things and we move things around, but we're never a million miles away from who we are. I don't have 20 identities. I've got 2 or 3 things that I really like and I think we're good at. And no, tonight we'll be the Lincoln that you see every week, and I think it's very good to Lincoln. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not it's worked for us.
And the whole of that bottom tier, a few have already made their way in, is going to be full of Lincoln fans tonight. That's going to be nice, isn't it?
Amazing, and it means a lot to us. And I hope as well, when you look at our team, we're as strong as we can be, we're as strong as we are. We take the cup really seriously, but a huge part of that is the following. We absolutely have to respect the fans, which I'd like to think we do every week, and it's important that they see the effort from us. I think credit to the squad we have. We can chop and change various places, not much between any of our group, but a huge part of team selection is fans coming to sport and wanting to see the best team, wanting to see a team that's been put out to win a game of football, and I think we've evidenced that tonight.
That's the Lincoln City head coach, Mark Kennedy. Let's just pick something up that I know you've had a few messages about on social media, and that's about Paulie O'Connor and his absence. Just explain what's been said.
I think a couple of people are just putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5. Is that Paulie going tomorrow? I know your very quick reaction to me when I said it could be. You kind of dismissed it straight away and went, no chance.
Look, letting you into a little kind of behind the scenes of what happens pre-match day is we have a press conference the day before. We do our pre-match interviews usually on a Thursday for a weekend, and on a day before for a midweek game. Now, we was due to speak to Paulie O'Connor yesterday, and we got a call about probably half hour, 45 minutes before, a message saying that We're not going to be speaking to Paulie today, we're going to be speaking to Rico Hackett. This has never happened in my time at Lincoln, that we've had such a late change. And the fact that Mark Kennedy said there, he came down with an illness yesterday. If he started to feel ill, you'll know what it's like in a dressing room. When you have one player start to feel ill, you get them out of that building as fast as you can, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. You're straight out the door, put it bluntly, yeah. Go home. Get out of the way. So, I fingers crossed that is what it is. I don't want Paulie to leave, but yeah. But we'll hopefully we'll be back against Bristol Rovers on Saturday.
Yeah, so Paulie O'Connor ill this evening. That's why he doesn't play a part tonight. No Tyler Walker, again a bit of a blow there, just picking up a little bit of a knock in training. It's been a stop-start to his career, which we expected in a way, didn't we? Because he'd not had much pre-season. He missed the first few weeks, which were vital. But he's just not been able to really kick-start that Lincoln career. Yeah,
and I think, with the emergence of Ben House, I think, those two obviously vying, shall we say, for the central striker role when Mark plays this system. And at the moment, Ben House is ahead of him, put it bluntly. And so, he's had to try and get minutes where he could. But when you've had a lengthy period out with injury, sometimes you do pick up secondary knocks, and hopefully he won't be out for too long, and he can maintain that fitness through his rehab and then get onto the pitch quite quickly. But I wouldn't say he's struggled in the games that I've watched, but he's not up to the Ben House at the moment. I know Ben's struggling for a goal at the moment. Hopefully that will turn around tonight. It'll be frustrating for him, as well as Mark Kennedy.
It certainly will. When we look at Lincoln's team then, Alex Mitchell comes in at centre-half for Adam Jackson. Not much of a surprise in that sense. We always expect Alex Mitchell to get plenty of games, and he seems like quite a robust style player that with what we've seen of him so far. And against Ollie McBurney in particular tonight, who's known for that style of play, that's going to be an intriguing battle, it feels.
Yeah, it's like I said at the start of the programme, there's going to be one-on-one battles all over the pitch, and you just hope, most of the Lincoln City players come out on top of those battles. And I don't mean like the physical side of things. I mean tactically as well. So Alex is going to have to be clever against McBurney. He's going to have to work out when he can fight him to try and win headers, to try and win possession, and when he just needs to sit off him a little bit and let him have the ball, so he doesn't give fouls, or free kicks in dangerous areas away. So he has to concentrate, because Ollie McBurney he's been around the block a little bit. He's been up and down the leagues. He hasn't played much football at Sheffield United. I don't think he started a game at all. I don't even know if he's come off the bench in any of the Premier League games so far. So he'll be short of match practice. But for Alex, for TJ and for Sean, they've just got to be a little bit clever around him. And obviously Cameron Archer, we know what he's about. We saw him at Middlesbrough in the Championship. If you watch the EFL highlights last year, he was scoring goals for fun for them, which has obviously prompted this £18.5 million move to Sheffield United. So he will run in behind, he'll have clever movement. So again, you've got two different centre forwards to play against, so you need to be aware of who's in your area and what you need to do to be able to combat their strengths.
It's been a roller coaster few weeks for TJ Omer. He plays start of the season, does well, makes a mistake for the opening goal against Northampton, gets taken off, and obviously they go and equalise. He then doesn't make the matchday squad the following game, doesn't make it on Saturday. He's back starting again tonight. Is that a reward for the work he's been putting in? Mark Kennedy touched on it in that interview, but do you think it's just reward for putting up with everything like that? Because some players would quite easily throw their toys out the pram.
Yeah, I just go back to experience I had under John Beck. I came on a substitute away at Hartlepool, and then within 8 minutes he had taken me off. So the substitute was substituted. Because I made two errors in what he thought was tactical errors. I tried to head the ball forward instead of heading it wide. So he dragged me off. I was fuming because I brought all my family up from London and moved up to Lincolnshire. So you can imagine, I wasn't holding back, and I remember Shane Wesley and Roger, the physio, having to hold me back because I just wanted to go and, shall we say, have a word with John Beck about that. But after the coach, he said, when we got back to Sincil Bank, he said to me, "Right, are you all right?" I went, "Yeah, I'm fine." He goes, "Reserves tomorrow, you're playing?" I went, "Okay." So he called me in the office when I went there, and he said, "You okay to play?" I went, "Yeah, I'm going to play. Of course I'm going to play." And he went, "You'll do me. You'll be in the first team on Saturday. Go and make sure you don't get injured tonight, but you're in the first team Saturday." So that's what mentality managers are looking for in terms of how do you react? How do you react to a setback? Like you say, it was a poor header for the first goal at Northampton. He then gets dropped out of the side, but then Mark Kennedy wants to see a reaction from him. Is he all right in training? Is he still working hard? Is he doing the right things around the lads in the dressing room? You know, all of that stuff. And Mark Kennedy's basically said to TJ, I like I like your response from not being in a matchday squad. Go out and prove me wrong. And now TJ's got another chance in probably, arguably, the biggest game of the season so far.
And the big thing about TJ, and Mark Kennedy's touched on this a couple of times when we've talked about TJ Omer, about him being a leader in the dressing room, setting the standards. And because he's been here for a few years, first on loan, didn't play, then on loan and played, and then signed permanently, he's only 23. And sometimes you forget that, don't you, because he's been here for so long.
You do. You would arguably say he comes across and he plays like a 27, 28-year-old. So he's almost playing above his age, if that makes sense. And it's like you say, he's been around Lincoln for quite a while now, and he's had some good performances. He's had some indifferent performances, but that happens to football players, especially young football players. And again, it's just his reaction. And Mark Kennedy likes his attitude. You can tell that in the pre-match interview that we did with Mark. He likes the response he's had from TJ. He's good around the dressing room. He's good at training. So yeah, he still sees him as a valid member of this squad.
Thoughts of Mark Honar, Imps Matchday Summariser here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Rob Mapeys with you for Hope and Glory. Kick-off less than half an hour away. Still to come, you'll hear from winger Rico Hackett on making Lincoln his home. We'll preview the rest of the League Cup ties and find out a little bit more about one of the Imps players as well after Mabel. It is Hope and Glory with you through until 10 o'clock. Both sets of players currently out on the pitch, warming up here at Bramall Lane. A reminder of that Lincoln City team this evening. Lucas Jensen in goal. The back five are Jack Burrows, TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell and Sean Rowan. Jaden Brown, the left wing back. Central midfielders Alistair Smith and Ethan Arahan. Danny Mandroyo and Rico Hackett either side of Ben House up front. On the bench for the Imps, Lass Sorensen, Adam Jackson, Teddy Bishop, Ethan Hamilton, goalkeeper Jordan Wright, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher and Jovan McCarmer. As for Sheffield United, we're expecting them to line up with Adam Davis in goal, a back five of Jaden Bogle, Chris Basham, John Egan, Austin Trusty and Lassa LaRusi. A midfield three of Ollie Norwood, Ismaila Koulibaly and Andre Brooks, and a front two of Cameron Archer and Ollie McBurney. On the bench for Sheffield United, Wes Fodringham, Benny Traore, Anilad Mahodzic, Anis Slimani, Will Asula, Louis Marsh, Femi Sariki and Jilly Biabu. Now each weekend and weeknight on Hope and Glory, we like to get to know some of the Lincoln City players a little bit better.
Hope and Glory.
Player profile.
Name.
Lass Sorensen.
Position.
Right wing back.
Favourite teammate.
Favourite teammate? I can't answer that. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. All of them. Borny is your teammate. Is the
Kitman. Favourite player of all time?
Messi. When I was growing up, I think it was the best. I'd like to be like him. Now I'm right wing back, but we'll take it.
Retired player you'd like to play alongside?
Xavi. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon you pass me the ball a lot.
Favourite holiday destination?
Spain.
If you could take one teammate away with you to Spain, who would you take and why?
Probably take Housey, because where we've been, we always leave what we're doing at the same time and just chill out. So we'll probably be sort of doing the same things on holiday. So yeah.
Hope and Glory.
Player profile.
Reaching the top 10 of the UK charts back in the month of Lass Sorensen's birth, October 1999. Mark was 30 plus back then. Were you?
1999. What was? I have no idea. 20. I don't know. Yeah, I was in the 30.
30. There we go.
31. I was. I went to school a long time ago.
Still very sharp as well. That's Mark Home with us on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. It is Hope and Glory. Robert Mark with you through until 10 o'clock this evening. Right, let's look ahead to what's going on elsewhere in the League Cup tonight, because there's not too many games. Most of them happened last night. But Doncaster Rovers take on Premier League side Everton, who are winless and yet to score this season. But the Doncaster Rovers boss Grant McCann says it's not going to be easy.
I think it's a good game for us. It's a good game. Obviously, I hear there's going to be a good attendance here. We're looking forward to it. the whole of Doncaster, I'm sure we'll be looking forward to it, a game live on Sky and TV. We just want to go and put a bit of a count of ourselves against a good Everton team. Like ourselves, really, they haven't started the way they'd want to start. But if you look at their games, their performances, they've created so many chances in the games. We've been watching it, and they just haven't managed to take the opportunities. But Sean's a great guy. I know Sean really well. I actually went to visit him when I was in between jobs, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and his coaching staff, Ian Warren and people, Steve Stone and people like that. So yeah, looking forward to the.
Now, it's been quite a while since Chelsea played in the second round of this competition, but not being in Europe this year, that is where they enter, and they'll look to avoid a cup shock as they take on League Two side AFC Wimbledon. The Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino, though, says they'll have to make some changes.
All the competition are important for Chelsea. It's true that the circumstances are not the best in that moment because we have many injuries and we need to deal after with the Saturday game against Nottingham Forest. We are going to try to put the best team to be sure that we are going to perform in the way that we want. But of course, we have some players that we need to avoid the risk and we need to give some rest. Yes, that is why I was telling before, we were so focused in trying to assess and analyze all the individual player to try to take the best decision for tomorrow. We need to be competitive and at the same time we need to put the best team that we can.
Harrogate Town of League Two face Championship side Blackburn Rovers, with the Harrogate boss Simon Weaver not worried about being classed as underdogs.
It's no different from every Saturday, to be honest. We're always underdogs, aren't we? And always have been. But it's fine, because with that, sometimes people underestimate you. But I want to get back to people fearing our energy, honesty, getting on the front foot, not giving teams, half a pitch to play in and just drop off to your own 18. We want to be going for people's throats and have a clear identity of, look, we're up and at you. We're going to put balls in the box and then we're going to play in your half.
And you said at the start that it's a big night for the club. Just put this into context for us, a Championship side coming to the environment.
Well, it's interesting. That's always exciting, isn't it, when you can say it's the first time a cup game against a Championship club. And we want to just keep breaking through ceilings. So, it's an exciting night to look forward to, and I guess the pressure's off in some respects, but they've got some highly talented players that even Premier League clubs are looking at. So I think go and impress people, go and really entertain, and yeah, it's great. Former Premier League winners after all. Blackburn Rovers come to Harrogate Town, and who would have thought it? But it's something to really relish and get excited about.
The only other game tonight in the League Cup sees Nottingham Forest take on newly promoted Burnley, an all-Premier League clash there. Mark, it is interesting, isn't it, the League Cup? We see last night the amount of games that went to penalties. Fulham, Tottenham, Portsmouth, Peterborough, Reading, Ipswich, Salford, Leeds, Wrexham, Bradford, Sheffield Wednesday, Mansfield Town, Port Vale, Crewe. Because of the lack of extra time, it does give you another incentive, doesn't it, to hold out, especially when you get to that final 5-10 minutes of a game if you're a side that are the lower league opposition.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. It's all to play for, isn't it? If you're a lower opposition like Lincoln are tonight, if you can hold on for a draw, you got the lottery of the penalties. So yeah, it's everything to play for tonight, and we've seen that this Lincoln team can produce performances against the top sides like they did last season. So fingers crossed, we'll keep it tight, don't give anything away to Sheffield United early on, so we don't then have to chase the game. I think if we're not chasing the game, I think we'll be all right tonight. It's when we have to chase it, I think we could come unstuck. So fingers crossed we can keep it tight. If we can keep it tight, certainly in the first half, and just cause one or two problems, just have one or two moments, set piece, something like that, where we can exploit Sheffield United slightly defensively. So, yeah, like I say, it's an intriguing game tonight. Paul Heckingbottom's it's given Lincoln a bit of respect by his team selection. I think he's gone fairly strong. I think he's a bit under pressure. He's lost the first three Premiership games, only by the odd goal. But it's a huge game against Everton on Saturday as well. So I was expecting more changes, so he's given us respect. So we need to give that respect back and make it very, very difficult for him tonight.
Now the stand to our right is completely empty, but the stand to our left, the bottom tier, is where the Lincoln fans are currently placed. I would say that's where they're sitting, but they're all stood up at the moment ready for this game, which gets underway in just over 10 minutes here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. The Imp support has been in good voice so far this evening. I'm sure they'll make plenty of more noise, which you'll be able to pick up on commentary, which, as I say, is getting underway very, very soon. But before that, let's hear from a man who was certainly impressed in his early days as a Lincoln City player, Rico Hackett, with a couple of goals to his name as well, in the starting 11 once again tonight. And he says it's been important to find a home.
I've only been here a short while and I'm enjoying it, loving my time here. Feel very settled in the city. Like, yeah, I've settled really well, get on with the boys really well. It's a good group. It was quite easy to kind of come in and settle in. All the staff and everyone around the clubs welcome me. And yeah, I feel settled, it feels like home already.
And how important is that as a player, both when you play on a Saturday afternoon or Tuesday night, but also off the pitch as well?
Yeah, I think it's massive. I think if you've got like a good foundation off the pitch and you're enjoying everything around you, most of the time you reap the benefits on the pitch. So yeah, I think it's helped me massively to kind of be settled somewhere and be happy somewhere. I think that's kind of reflecting in some of my recent performances, but it's still a long season, a lot more performances, and hopefully I can keep scoring goals and the team can keep winning games.
And was that the big thing you wanted from your next move, that it was to find somewhere you could settle down and have a steady career, not as in you're settling for what you want, but just as in, you know, you feel safe and secure?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was at my last club probably in that transition of becoming probably a young pro to kind of more of a senior, more experienced pro. And obviously when you feel like you're getting that experience, you want to start playing regularly and be a big part of something. And yeah, that was a massive thing for me, and I feel like I'm getting that here.
Premier League side to play against next, what's that like as a player when you're coming up against some of the best players in the country? Yeah,
it's amazing. I experienced it a lot last year, played at Spurs last year, so yeah, it's definitely an experience that stays with you throughout your career when you play at places and the Premier League clubs, and you see the level, that like the standard is obviously completely different, as you'd imagine. But yeah, it's good to kind of to get a feel for that, because ultimately we all want to play where them boys are. So yeah, no, it's good.
And is there anything you learnt from that experience last year at Tottenham that you think you can take into this game?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important to stay in the game when you play against teams like that. You're probably not going to have a lot of the ball, and when you do get a chance, which we will, it's about taking them and staying in the game for as long as possible and hopefully try and nick something.
And certainly this year, goal scoring for yourself and also for the team has been quite free-flowing. There's been plenty of goals being scored, lots of different goal scorers as well. Yeah. Does it feel like there's a confidence flowing through the team when the chances come? Yeah,
definitely, and I think that's a massive thing, and I think it's to do with the squad. We've got players on the bench who are obviously more than good enough to play week in, week out, and we've got a real competition in every position. So I think it's pushing everyone, and like you said, everyone's chipping in with goals. Subs that are coming on are scoring goals and changing the game. So I think it's being driven from within, and obviously that's a massive part of us at the minute, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
But although things are going really well in the league, is it nice to have a break from the league and go into a cup game?
Sometimes, but sometimes you want to keep the momentum. I think we've had a lot of games recently, and we've come out of it quite well, physically, and obviously the results have been good. So it'd be nice to keep the momentum and have a league game, but obviously it's at the same time a kind of break from that can do well, because there's obviously things that we can improve on and be better for our next league game.
When you're going to be backed by 3,000 travelling supporters, we don't know how many home fans there'll be, but that's going to be a huge help, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think even the Notts County in the first round, we saw the support there, and so yeah, it's nothing new to us now. We know that they follow us and support us really well. So yeah, it's amazing to have that support there. Like I said, at Notts County, you could hear them all game. So I imagine it will be very similar at Sheffield United, and there'll be in even more numbers.
That's Rico Hackett speaking to me at the press conference yesterday. He talks about trying to find a home. When you looked at his career over the last couple of years, it feels like he just needs to be loved, doesn't he, as a player?
It sounds like it, doesn't it? And like I say, when we signed him, I have to say I was sitting on the fence a little bit because of that kind of erratic career that he's kind of had and trying to find a home. And you know, he's talking there about loving the city, loving the club, loving being part of this team, and yeah, maybe he has found a home, and certainly his performances would suggest that is the case. You know, I think his performances have been really good. I mean, the goal at Northampton's quite special. I mean, that's a wonderful hit. Great technique from him. So yeah, fingers crossed he can only get better from here. I just think, you know, he's one to watch. I think he'll improve. I think the more he plays, the more he's loved by Mark Kennedy, the more the fans kind of warm to what he's trying to do. I just think he'll get better and better.
Yeah, hopefully that is the case. And he's someone who feels like he's a confidence player, doesn't he? You saw it. Saturday was an example. Northampton was an example. When something goes his way, the next 2, 3, 4 actions are real positive ones, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably where he's. I mean, I'm only surmising at this, but I would imagine that's where he struggled to hold down a regular first-team place. Is that when things don't go well for him, what's his attitude like to the next thing that he does? Is it a positive? Is it a negative? You know, like we're talking about TJ, it's the same for all players. You know, if you have a bad spell, how do you react to that bad spell? How do you react to that rejection from the manager that you're not in the side, or you're not playing, or you're forced out on loan somewhere? It's how you come back and how your attitude is with that. So fingers crossed, you know, he can get a regular game here, and he can really cement the ability that we can all see. Let's see if we can get 40 games of that ability in him in the season.
As you can hear, the atmosphere building at Bramall Lane, so let's get your team news.
Commentary of Lincoln City.
Great run into the box. It's heading goalward. That's a wonderful goal. Lines of right-footed shot and scores. It's a thunderbolt. He gives Lincoln the lead.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
Where Mark Kennedy has been made to not have his captain in the squad, picking up illness in the last couple of days, so no Pordy O'Connor. Lass Sorensen, Adam Jackson, Ethan Hamilton dropped to the bench. In come TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell and Jaden Brown. Your team in full: Lucas Jensen in goal. A back five of Jack Burrows, TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell, Sean Rowan and Jaden Brown. Midfield two of Alistair Smith and Ethan Arahan, and a front three of Rico Hackett, Ben House and Danny Mandroyu. On the bench for the Imps: Lass Sorensen, Adam Jackson, Teddy Bishop, Ethan Hamilton, Jordan Wright, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher and Jovan McCarmer. For Sheffield United, it's Adam Davis in goal. Here's back five of Jaden Bogle, Chris Basham, John Egan, Austin Trusty and Yasser Larousi. Ollie Norwood, Ismaila Koulibaly and Andre Brooks in central midfield. Cameron Archer, the new signing, signed for £18 million up front with Ollie McBurney. On the bench for Sheffield United: Wes Fodringham, Benny Traore, Anil Admahodjic, Anis Sanmani, Will Asula, Louis Marsh, Femi Sariki and Jilly Buyabu. Will it be a cup shot? Can the Imps knock out a Premier League opposition here in the League Cup on Hope and Glory?
Hope and glory.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
Yeah, welcome to Bramall Lane. If you are just joining us here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, it's Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone with you to bring you commentary of the Imps as they look to knock out the Premier League side, who've not had the best of starts to the season, but ran Man City also close at the weekend. And the teams are due out any moment, and the atmosphere's building. The floor is thumping below me. And Mark, we've got Lincoln City that have filled the bottom tier of the stand to our left-hand side.
Yeah, I'm just dancing, Rob, here. I'm actually, you know, hands in the air and all that. No, just brilliant. It's, you know, looking to my left there and just seeing all them Lincoln fans. It reminds me of the cup days that I had at the club, and the fantastic support we took down to Southampton and away at Man City and places like that. So they do come out in numbers when it's the big teams, and it's great to see. And I'm sure they're going to make a fantastic noise, you know, throughout the game, not just when the teams come out, but throughout the game. So really, really good support again from the Imps.
Yeah, the stand we're in is pretty full with home supporters. Quite a few thousand opposite us, but the stand to our right is completely empty, so you should be able to hear the Lincoln fans making plenty of noise in the next couple of hours here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Pordy O'Connor, it's a real miss tonight. It's the kind of game you need your leaders to stand up and be counted, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll be devastated he's not playing, and that's the one person that I do feel sorry for is Pordy. You know, these are the nights you want to play as a you know, a League Two, a League One player. You want to come to a Premiership ground and perform and do yourself justice. And he's not had that chance through illness, which is a real shame for him. So, you know, I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope he's back in the side on Saturday away at Bristol Rovers. But no, he'll be sorely missed today, especially with those two up front for Sheffield United. He would have relished, especially against McBurney. I think he would have relished that competition against him. So yeah, a real miss for us.
Yeah, the music ramps up once again as we're about to see the two sets of teams make their way out of the tunnel. Mark Kennedy has just made his way out. Fist bump for Terry Bourne. The referee, which is Premier League referee Paul Tierney, leads the two teams out, and it's Ethan Arahan who is captain for the evening, leading out Lincoln City in their warm-up tops of white. Sheffield United in their traditional red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black socks. Lincoln in that green away kit tonight. Lucas Jensen in his all-pink kit as we get ready for what is set to be a fantastic evening of League Cup football. And we don't know what's going to happen over the next 90 minutes, Mark, but we were talking about this in the car. We don't know whether it was just because of the run of last season and how that went, or whether it's just because we didn't know what Sheffield United were going to do in terms of team selection, but we've just got a feeling tonight.
Yeah, we both said about it in the car, didn't we? We just got a feeling that, I said we'll win it on penalties. I hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right, because what a night that's going to be if that is the case. But no, we just got to keep this tight, give them nothing to kind of get their feet under the table as such for Sheffield United. If we can keep things tight, even if it's 0-0 at half-time and we've had one or two opportunities, I'm not saying we're going to outplay Sheffield United. We can't sit here and say that. But if we keep things tight, if we can cause one or two problems, maybe even a set piece, something just to make sure Sheffield United are on their toes, that that we're in this game. And I like what Rico Hackett said: just stay in the game. And I say that when we come to big games, just stay in the game as long as you can, and then you never know what's going to happen. The favourites will get nervous, the crowd will get nervous, and let's not forget Sheffield United haven't won a game yet so far this season, and they'll be expected to win here tonight.
Yeah, they certainly will, as the handshake just takes place between Ethan Arahan and his opposite captain, John Egan, in the side this evening. Been one of those players who's been a mainstay of Sheffield United over the last couple of years. The Sheffield United players just going into a huddle. And one thing we should point out as well, and that's going to be interesting tonight, I think Mark's going to play a part in how this game goes. Sheffield United play Everton here in the early kick-off on Saturday.
Yeah, that definitely has an impact, because, can we call that a relegation 6-pointer already in 3 games into the season? But it is a massive game, isn't it? The Man City game for Sheffield United was a free hit, but that's a huge game on Saturday here at Bramall Lane for Everton. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting evening in terms of how Sheffield United approach this. Of course, Paul Heckingbottom will want to win, but he's going to have one eye on Saturday, because that's a huge 3 points for them.
So it's going to be Lincoln kicking from left to right. So Sheffield United will be attacking the end with the Lincoln City fans in the first 45 minutes. As Ethan Arahan will be getting the game underway. Ball back to Sean Rowan, then it is League Cup action for you here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. It's Lincoln City at Sheffield United. Rob Makepeace and Mark Hone, your commentary team. And it's Sheffield United who have the early throw inside their own half. The ball is played back to the centre half, John Egan. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Davis, and goes long looking for the new signing, Archer. Sean Rowan wins the opening battle, plays it infield for Arahan. Can't find Danny Mandroyo, so throw for Jayden Bogle, who goes back to his defence. And as I say, Mark, and you mentioned this in the build-up, it's like for like in terms of formation tonight.
Yeah, just like you say, just one-on-one battles. You've just got to try and win as many of the individual battles as you can, and then just hope, that one person that is able to then maybe just break off the back of somebody in that one-on-one battle and do something spectacular. We've seen it away at Bristol City, didn't we, last season? Fingers crossed for the Imps tonight.
Ball is with Sheffield United inside their own half at the moment. Ball is into Ollie Norwood in the midfield area. Looks out to the right to Bogle, plays it inside for McBurney, looking to set Archer on the run, but that's going to run through all the way through to Lucas Jensen. First touch for him.
You can see already, Rob, McBurney wants to go and get involved, get it off the midfielders, and then Archer's just going to be on the shoulders of our back three. Just anything going to go down the sides, he's going to be onto it.
Yeah, Cameron Archer, part of that Middlesbrough side in the Championship last year, nearly earning promotion, but signed from Aston Villa now. TJ Omer heads it forward, can't find Rico Hackett. It'll go out of play for a throw for the Imps. Lovely touch from Paul Heckingbottom there in
very
the
good.
Technical area.
Never lose it.
Thrown into Mandroyu, just heads it back for Smith. Now with Arahan to Danny Mandroyu, plays it through the legs of Larousse. Mandroyu turning on the style early on, drills it across to the left-hand side to Jayden Brown. Going to have a run at Bogle. Brown going towards the byline, just gets shoulder barged off the ball, and the home side can bring it away. Lincoln closing down the space though. Jayden Brown, a man who played across the road, of course, across the other side of the city in the colours of Wednesday last season, so he'll be looking for a personal bit of one-upmanship tonight. But lovely from Mandroyu.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what brilliant. Do you think he's ready for this? Brilliant nutmeg. I think it was on Bogle.
As Lincoln, TJ Omer stepping into the challenge in the centre of midfield. It's with Larousse now on the left-hand side, who was the man who was nutmegged by Mandroyu. Now Burrows flicks it forward. Ben House can't get on the end of it, so it's picked off by Egan. Goes across to his centre-half partner. And out towards the right-hand side to Bogle once again. 0-0 in the opening couple of minutes here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, 4 minutes in. Sheffield United happy to play around the back now with the American Austin Trusty. Larousse tries to get past Burrows, but Burrows stops him. It's back with Trusty once again.
Yeah, it's good from Lincoln. Every time they try to get somebody on a little half turn, the Lincoln defender right on their... sorry, I just thought he might have kept that in, but no, every time Sheffield United try and play into little pockets of space and they're trying to get on a half turn, there's a Lincoln City defender there snapping at the rails, making sure they don't get on that half turn and forcing Sheffield United back. So good start from us. I know it's early days, but positive from us.
Yeah, good start from City, as I say. We're 4 minutes in here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Still goalless. Jensen taking his time over this goal kick, as he's well within his rights to.
Yeah, just take your time. Every single restart of the game, take your time, get it set up, have the game plan in your head of where you're going to put it and who's going to attack it.
Long ball played forward by the Imps. McBurney just barges Arahan off the ball, and now Archer trying to chase after it, and he's racing in towards goal, and it's a great covering tackle there from Alex Mitchell coming across, but there we saw the pace of Archer just over the top.
Absolutely, he was onto that like a flash, wasn't he? McBurney just managing to get the wrong side of Arahan and played it over the top. I think Arahan may have been played over the top himself, but yeah, but Mitchell does really well on the cover just to get a toe end on that. But there's the danger sign. Archer is lightning quick.
Ball is with Larousse on the left-hand side. Lincoln again see it out of play. 5 minutes played. I was looking for a clock all over. Realised there's a big one behind the goal that I'd missed.
Yeah, you normally say that to me, Rob.
Yeah. I'm getting my eyes tested tomorrow, I think, at this rate. Ball is with Sheffield United on the halfway line. Going across from left to right to Bogle. Mandroyu just moving across just to block a path forward for Bogle, but he tries to play the pass forward. Jayden Brown cuts this one out. Now Arahan into Ben House, but it's just a rushed pass forward from Jayden Brown, and Lincoln give back possession to the home side as Ben House closes down the forward ball from Norwood. House continuing to chase after it, but Trusty able to deal with that and head it back to his goalkeeper Adam Davis. But we know, and it was talked about at the weekend, as there's another long ball forward from Sheffield United, comes to nothing, that the Ben House, Lincoln's teammates call him one of the best pressing forwards in the division, and he'll certainly not give those defenders any time this evening.
No, he won't. He'll make life very, very difficult for him. He does well there. He's in between two of them there again. Rico Hackett this time gets a blocking. So yeah, again, we're just scrapping for everything that we can, which is really good from us. And that's bounced back in with that's really weird. That's bounced back in off the line.
Yeah, it was bizarre, didn't it? It looked like it was going to head out of play, but Ben House was alert. Arahan tries to head it forward now, and Rico Hackett's going to try and get there in front of Trusty, who just plays it out, and Trusty and Hackett just little coming together, but it will be a Lincoln City throw. Now, we have seen Lass Sorensen, I wouldn't call it necessarily a long throw, but he's been putting a throw into the penalty area when he's been playing at right wing back. There's no Lass Sorensen tonight, so are we going to see something from Jack Burrows here? Looks like it's going to be a long throw. Alex Mitchell's made his way forward. They've got the height of Alistair Smith in there tonight, as well as another option. So Burrows is about to throw this one in, plays it into the box, not enough on it, headed away by McBurney. Ayoma just has to be careful. Rowan knocks it out to Burrows once again. Hackett forward down the right, plays it into Rico Hackett. Hackett gets it back onto his left foot now. A lovely bit of skill from Rico Hackett. Works a bit of space for the cross, and that's so unlucky because the cross hit the back of Burrows, who was making his way back, and it went out of play for a goal kick. But it was a really lovely piece of play from Rico Hackett. Still 0-0, 7 minutes in.
Yeah, good feet from Rico Hackett. Good body adjustment as well to be able to get his body to catch up with his feet when he twists and turns like that. But no, it's just so unfortunate. It hits the back of Burrows. But again, it's a set play. Get the regains right, and then we put them under another pressure with another phase of play. So it's good from Lincoln.
Still 0-0 then. Lincoln just pressing. Danny Mandrew putting a little bit of pressure on Chris Basham, playing at right-sided centre half this evening. Ball played into the midfield area to Andre Brooks, the youngster. Been impressing in the development side for Sheffield United so far this season, which is why he's been given the call-up tonight. Arahan forward ball, finds Mandrew, but Basham steps in and looks to bring it forward. Ayoma does well to stop the forward pass for a moment. Now Archer has it on the left wing, going back towards the halfway line. And again, Lincoln getting into their shape and not letting Sheffield United have any space or time. As soon as it gets to that halfway line, that's when Lincoln are really putting the pressure on, Mark, isn't it? The halfway line is the trigger, it feels.
Yeah, it is. It's just concentration, just making sure that you don't allow your man to come off you, just to get that little half turn. It's good so far from us. The shape is really good. We're pressing in the right areas.
Yeah, Jayden Brown just went pressing almost as a centre forward then. I think realised it probably wasn't part of the game plan and got told to get back in position.
Absolutely, yeah. You just don't leave holes anywhere on this pitch where they can exploit it.
Sheffield United try and keep it in play, but way too much on it, and Yasser Larouci joins the Lincoln City fans behind the goal, and it remains goalless as we're 9 minutes in. As I say, no chances as of yet, but nothing really in it. Game's really been played. Sheffield United, I'm sure, are dominating the possession, but as we've seen, Saturday was a prime example. Blackpool dominated the possession stats, but the scoreline's the one that matters.
Yes, this is the Lincoln fans getting to their voices. It's like I say, it's been a good start. Great defensive shape from us so far. A couple of times Sheffield United have tried to go on the diagonal, which looks threatening, but they haven't executed that right as yet.
Ayoma heads it forward. Smith knocks it on. Hackett can't get there. It's one for Ayoma to win the header and does well. Hackett tries to flick it on once again. Game ahead tennis as McBurney just with a barge in Smith's back. Referee happy for that though, and play continues with the home side having it in central defence now with Basham. Got Bogle to his right. Basham looks up, plays a short pass into Koulibaly, into Trusty, and then back into centre half and to the skipper John Egan. Ben House just watching it. Ben House, Danny Mandrew, Rico Hackett, that front three just working from left to right when needed. Just stopping any space for Sheffield United to play a pass through. Again, the ball out now to Trusty on the left-hand side. Hackett is the man who comes into Larouci now. He goes infield, and now Lincoln looking to press a little higher. Mandrew into Basham. Brown needs to be careful because Bogle's made a run in behind him, and Brown's not been able to cut it out, but it had gone out of play already as Blackburn get the first goal of the night in the competition. They lead at League Two Harrogate by a goal to nil.
Yeah, Bogle actually did Jayden Brown over that far side then. Bogle came towards the ball. Brown got sucked in as if it was going to the feet, and then Bogle spun in behind him. And if the ball had been better, Bogle was the other side of Brown. You just have to be careful of the movement, Brown. Just don't anticipate things too quickly so you get yourself sucked into areas you don't want to be in, and then the movement beats you.
Yeah, big night for Jayden Brown. Lost his place early on.
Yeah, just defensively at times. Just question marks for me. So this is a big night for him because he's going to be up against Bogle, who's got good movement. You've already just seen that. So yeah, he's going to have to really concentrate.
Ball is with Sheffield United. They've played the throw into Egan and then across to the left-hand side to Trusty, just inside Lincoln's half at the moment. Out to Larouci on the left. He looks to have a run at Burrows. Burrows stays with him and does really well and plays it out towards the halfway line. Trusty stops it getting there and then goes across to his centre-half partner Egan, and then further across to Basham, who goes past Mandrew, who just slipped a little. Ball out to Bogle again on the right-hand side for the home team. We're Nearly 12 minutes in, still 0-0 here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire between Lincoln City and Sheffield United as they look for the crossfield pass, which Burrows intercepts and reads superbly, and he looks to set Ben Houseoff down the right wing, and defending for Sheffield United to do, and it's good defending from Egan, just helps it back to his goalkeeper. Nice idea though, that from Jack Burrows, the right wing back for Lincoln tonight. Certainly intercepted the play well there, Mark.
Yeah, he did really well. Again, a crossfield ball that they haven't executed, Sheffield United, and we picked it up, and he's a bit unlucky there, Ben House, because Egan's read it and just got that half a yard in front of him.
Sheffield United go forward. Mitchell just sees that one out of play.
He's quite mobile, Mitchell, there, isn't he, when he was coming across there? That was good defending from him.
I mean, he's in the mould of Paudie O'Connor, isn't he?
Yeah.
That style of defender, really, no nonsense, really good positioning.
Yeah, that was good defending from him. Just saw the danger, came across, good pace on him.
So goal kick for Jensen to take. Coming up to the 13-minute mark as Blackburn go 2-0 up now at Harrogate. Ball out of play for a Sheffield United throw, came off the head of Rico Hackett. Larousse plays it back to Trusty. And now across to Basham and then Bogle. As say, Sheffield United playing the same formation as Lincoln City, so the three centre halves, the two wing backs, as Norwood looks to play it forward for McBurney. Rowan hooks it out of play with the left foot for a Sheffield United throw midway inside the Lincoln half.
Sean Rowan did really well there. He almost read what Norwood was going to do, 60 yards away, dropped into the little pocket. There was no way he was going to let McBurney get down the side of him. Good defending from the young man now.
Trusty comes over the halfway line with it on the left wing to Larousse. Looks up, has to go back to Trusty. Mark Kennedy directing traffic on the edge of his technical area at the moment.
Just don't want to get frustrated with this. Sometimes as a player, when you haven't got the ball and you're chasing, it is frustrating. You just got to keep your discipline, keep your shape, and know that you will get yourself a chance in the game at some point.
Burrows plays it forward for Arahan, now to Smith, who just gets dispossessed, and now the first time Sheffield United got a bit of space. Koulibaly lines up the shot, it's well blocked by Mitchell. Smith goes up to win the header, can't do so. Larousse just helps it back, but that was the first time really we've seen a Lincoln City mistake, and straight away it was tried to be capitalised on by United.
Yeah, just Arahan and Smith just got a little bit of a tangle there and trying to exchange passes, and Smith just loose touch allowed Mbali to get the other side of him, and thankfully Mitchell stepped out and made a really good block.
So still 0-0. Coming up to the quarter of an hour mark. Sheffield United in possession once again on the halfway line into Norwood. Goes back to Koulibaly and then to Egan. Norwood picks it up once again, looking to dictate play from that central midfield area. Lincoln, I say, keeping their shape, keeping the formation. Sheffield United have it in the centre circle. Egan across to Trusty, just looking to work that Lincoln front line, trying to create some space. Sheffield United as Larousse tries to help it through, and Lincoln now with a chance to counter-attack, and it's Alistair Smith who has it. Smith just pokes it to House, now Arahan out to the right-hand side to Hackett. Lincoln with players forward in this attack. Hackett looking to take on Trusty. Hackett still with it, still Rico Hackett tries to get the cross in. Then Mandroyu tries to slide in, does well to win back possession for City. Sheffield United player remains down. Mandroyu to Burrows, back to Arahan, now out wide to Hackett. Hackett works across it, it's a deep one towards the far post, and it's easily gathered in the end by the Sheffield United goalkeeper Davies, who's then tried to take the quick goal kick, and Sean Rowan's read that one come very easily, but again, there's a lovely little flick from Egan at the back, which Lincoln City able to break quickly there, Mark, and just not able to find that final ball.
No, just Rico Hackett's cross just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper Davis, but good play from us. We broke up play really well, then broke. Yeah, that was good. Just the final delivery, just not quite right.
As Bogle has it, plays it into Koulibaly in the centre of midfield, back to the three centre halves once again. Norwood looks up first time, and he's gone to try and lob Lucas Jensen. And is that a sign of Sheffield United frustration there?
I don't know what is in his head there, Norwood, to be honest. I mean, maybe. That's probably the first forward pass Norwood's made, I think, in the game, because every time he's got in the centre circle or get it off the centre halves, he's just gone sideways. So that's the first time he's passed the ball forward, and he's whacked it straight over the top of Jensen's bar. So, like I say, if I was Paul Heckingbottom, I'll be slightly concerned because they haven't created anything against this Lincoln defensive shape. And when Lincoln have the ball, we look like we can cause problems.
Long ball forward by Sheffield United comes to nothing. Sean Rowan has plenty of time on the ball. 0-0 here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Commentary of the Imps at Bristol Rovers. Another guest summariser for you on Saturday afternoon. A former teammate of Mark's, in fact, will be joining Michael at Bristol Rovers. You'll find out who on Friday on the
I can't give it away.
show.
I can't give it away.
No.
Okay. He's a very, very good player and a top bloke as well.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, and he'll be joining Michael for commentary of the Imps at Bristol Rovers on Saturday afternoon. Build up beginning Thursday night at 7 with your preview podcast on the Hope and Glory podcast as Lincoln have possession with TJ Omer. Just has to be careful, gets barged in the back by Ollie McBurney, and clever from TJ Omer there. Could see the challenge was going to come in and just moved his body in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. McBurney just trying to close him down, just used his body to get in the way. Went down quite easily. Simple free kick for Paul Tierney to give there. And this is a chance for us. I think we've been decent in open play as well. We've had a couple of phases of play in a final third, just not the right ball into the area. But this is a chance for Danny Mandreo to put a good delivery in.
Yeah, Jack Burrows just made his way to the right-hand side as well as a possible option. If Archer's there alongside him, so he's got the pace to get back. But it's Mandreu delivers this right-footed into the penalty area. Really good ball, headed away only to the edge of the penalty area. Ben House goes down to try and get it. Still not properly cleared. Mitchell tries to get the shot away. Calls of handball. Cleared by Sheffield United. Panic defending though from the Premier League side as Lincoln nearly give it away through Ethan Arahan. There's a shock scoreline coming in from Stamford Bridge where AFC Wimbledon
You're joking.
have gone 1-0 up at Chelsea.
Wow.
Chelsea, I say, not used to entering at this stage of the competition, having played in Europe. Mind the teams that play in Europe, they enter in the next round of the competition. The draw later on this evening after the game which is on telly, which is Doncaster against Everton. 0-0 here at the moment, but space for Sheffield United to move forward now on the left with Larousse. He's got Archer if he wants him. Plays the ball instead into the penalty area and just plays it straight into the arms of Lucas Jensen.
That's poor. That is poor. It's just mutterings around the ground, isn't there, from the Sheffield United supporters.
And that's probably the second time where they've found space in Lincoln's half, isn't it? They've not had that space all game so far.
Our defensive shape's been really, really good. And what I do like is our transitions have been good as well. We're not scared to go and play, and like we are here, we're just playing little passes, a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, Sean Rowan with it on the halfway line into Danny Mandreu now. Got Ben House further forward, plays it to Arahan. Now back to Mandreu, just has to be careful, gets tripped up. Lincoln City have themselves a free kick on the halfway line.
We're just playing with confidence, and why wouldn't we? We're fourth in the league. We've only been defeated once away at Bolton. These lads here, most of them are young, but they're probably full of confidence. There's a togetherness. You know, I was speaking to Warren Walker, who's the assistant kit man, and he says that they're really together. You know, if you go up on the training ground, they're all together, they're all in it together. They want to win, they want to learn.
21 minutes in, Lincoln with this free kick. Arahan looks to play it down the left-hand side for Rico Hackett, who's done well, helps it back to Arahan. First time ball into the edge of the penalty area, cleared away by Sheffield United, only to Jack Burrows. Space for Hackett, but Burrows hits it against his man and just has to be careful now. Does see it out of play for a Lincoln throw. See what he was trying to do, trying to find Rico Hackett, but
yeah, there's just not quite enough pace on the ball on a free kick to get properly down the side, so Rico Hackett had to turn out. If there'd been more pace on it, he was actually in behind Sheffield United's defence there.
Throw for TJ Omer to take down the right wing. Burrows heads it inside, cleared away by Sheffield United, again out, straight out of play for a Lincoln throw. BBC Radio Lincolnshire, Ron Makepeace, Mark Hoadley commentary team coming to the halfway point of this first half. As Danny Butterfield throws the ball to TJ Omer, who will take this throw. Looks for Ben House, comes off the head of Trusty. Lincoln have worked their way down the right wing. They've got a throw now in line with the 6-yard box and a chance to load the penalty area. Again, Alex Mitchell coming forward for this one.
This is about regains in and around the edge of the area.
The Omers come short.
Can you get another phase of play? If it's headed out, can you get the second ball to put another cross into the penalty area?
Burrows' throw doesn't really get that far. Omer comes in and wins it back for Lincoln to Hackett now, edge of the penalty area. It's a decent effort. It was a gather in the end of the second attempt by Adam Davis, but Rico Hackett, certainly very similar to Northampton, just tried to get the ball out of his feet as quick as he could and got decent contact on it. Remains goalless.
Yeah, fairly easy for Davis, but just as I was saying, just get the second ball, another phase of play. TJ Omer did really well on the second ball, kept the ball alive, and we get a shot from it. So again, good discipline from us on set pieces, and that's going to be vital as the game goes on.
As Mandroyo nearly steals it off the toes of Norwood. Sheffield United now looking to break and use the space that's been vacated by Mandroyo. Played out to the left-hand side to Larousi, midway inside the Lincoln half, goes back into the central midfield to Norwood, and now the run's been made forward by Brooks, tries to play it into the box and it's cleared away by Alex Mitchell. Sheffield United have the throw.
Yeah, he's had a good start to the game, Mitchell. A couple of times I've seen him. He looks a good size as well. He looks a bit of a unit. And he's just got himself in some good areas and a good clearance from him there. First time they've really opened us up a little bit.
Ball is with Bogle, back to Norwood in the central midfield area. Lincoln trying to get it back through Ben House, but instead it's played out to the left-hand side now. Lincoln having to defend. It's played into the penalty area to McBurney at the far post. Comes back inside on his left foot. Well blocked by a couple of Lincoln defenders, including Jaden Brown, who was there. Hackett trying to win it back for Lincoln. Chipped into the area, this time headed away by Mitchell. Comes out to Brooks, he plays it back into the box. Archer can't control it, and TJ Omer just thumps it clear towards the halfway line, and Egan touches a good one, just able to get there in front of Ben House, but Sheffield United just racking up the pressure a little bit, and the foul in on Cameron Archer by TJ Omer gives the home side a free kick. 0-0 still.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday just sprung into life there, haven't they? Again, a couple of little phases of play for Sheffield United. They look dangerous. When we just get ourselves just caught and we try and get caught napping, as we hear here.
Free kick played into the penalty area. McBurney can't win it. Mandroyo again just hits it high into the night sky. Puts a little bit of pressure on Egan. Ben House trying to control it, can't do so. It's with Koulibaly. Jaden Brown in with a thunderous challenge though for City. Then gets dispossessed. Then Mandroyo tries to win it back for Lincoln. Rowan does get it back for Lincoln.
He does really well there, Sean Rowan. I think Archie just got the other side of him, but he stuck a trailing leg out and stopped him playing. But Brown with a really good block in that previous attack from Ollie McBurney.
Just that little spell though, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a moment or two from Sheffield United, which you're bound to expect.
Absolutely. I'd expected more from them, to be honest. I thought they were, you know, we had a couple of last-ditch challenges, really. I expected them to put under more pressure than they have. But we're standing firm at the moment.
25.5 minutes in. Norwood goes to Brooks. Smith able to just push Brooks back to
it's good
his
from
own
Smith.
goal.
That was really good from Smith because he almost got on the half turn there.
Long ball in behind, but Lucas Jensen comes right out to the right-hand corner of his penalty area to gather that. Cameron Archer just looking to spin in behind Mitchell. Lincoln fans making the noise. Behind the goal to our left-hand side, 26 minutes played. Jensen with the kick long, one for Ben House to keep an eye out for, headed away, but Arahan knocks it down now to Rico Hackett, and this is where Lincoln have been good, those second balls, and Rico Hackett has it. He's got Burrows to his right. Hackett plays it inside, looking for Danny Mandroyo. Clever idea, ball played out by Egan for a Lincoln throw.
Yeah, Danny Mandroyo coming off that left flank, coming into play central as Ben House drifted away onto Basham. It nearly worked, that did.
Ioma has it, plays it in for Mandroyo now. McBurney wins it back though for Sheffield United. Brooks nearly gets dispossessed by Arahan, but Sheffield United have worked it out to the right hand side for Bogle, chips it forward, one for Koulibaly to chase. Rowan is there alongside him, not enough on it to run out of play for a goal kick, so Rowan hits it into the stand for a Sheffield United throw.
Yeah, good from Sean Rowan again. No nonsense. The ball wasn't going to have enough to run out on it. Didn't want to take a chance. Stick it in the stand. It gives us time to all filter back into our defensive shape, and now it's back over the halfway line with Sheffield United. So good play from Sean Rowan. Intelligent, mature defending from him.
Yeah, Trusty has it. Out to Larousse. McBurney turns away from Smith and then tried to play it to Archer, but Mitchell was there and cleared it away. Again, just a little moment of Sheffield United showing what they can do. Lincoln have restricted them so far as Norwood gets a barge in the back from Ben House.
Yeah, just a little reminder from Ben House.
Jaden Brown in tight on Jaden Bogle, who has to go back to Norwood on the halfway line. Again, he looks for that switch of play out to Larousse on the left-hand side, who plays it forward and finds Trusty. First chance for the centre-half to get forward, and he's cleared it out for a goal kick. Very nice of him.
Yeah, I don't mind if the centre-halves are doing overlaps. To be fair to Rico Hackett, he tracked him all the way as well.
So 0-0 here. Reminder, AFC Wimbledon lead at Chelsea by a goal to nil. Blackburn 2-0 up at Harrogate. Goalless between Forest and Burnley and Doncaster and Everton, and goalless here as well. As you say, neither goalkeepers had a lot to do. One save for Sheffield United for Adam Davis, which was a comfortable one in the end from Rico Hackett, but so far so good if you're a Lincoln City fan. But Burnley tries to control it and can't do so. Lincoln pick it up with Mandroiu, just wants a pass, wants an option, has to go back to TJ Omer, now to Mandroiu once again. Mandroiu plays it off McBurney for a Lincoln throw.
Yeah, good trust from TJ Omer into Danny Mandroiu. Mandroiu was marked there, but TJ still gave him the ball. Mandroiu was able to get us a throw, get us down the line.
Ball is with Larousse. Wins a free kick.
That's a soft one for me, referee. That's Smith saying, well, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, referee's not had a lot to do, has he, Paul Tierney?
No.
Norwood takes it short, goes back to Egan, and then across to Basham, and then back to Norwood and the halfway line.
There's a Lincoln City.
It's played forward now to Koulibaly. Mandroiu needs to get back. Koulibaly trying to work his way through. Archer has it, being forced outside the penalty area, and the fizzed pass forward from Norwood, not controlled by Koulibaly, remains goalless.
Yeah, I just broke off there because I thought that was a little bit of a dangerous moment for us, but as a Lincoln fan singing, is this a library?
It's very quiet, isn't it? I say, but I think they're expecting around 10,000 tonight, and bearing in mind nearly 3,000 is Lincoln. There's not huge home support. As I mentioned, they've got a huge game against Everton this weekend, and the early kick-off on Saturday in the Premier League, so maybe the League Cup not the biggest priority, as we know, for a lot of Premier League sides, but certainly quite a few first-team regulars out for Sheffield United this evening. One of them is John Egan, the skipper, played against Man City on Saturday. To Trusty, into the midfield to Norwood, pokes it forward, finds Brooks. Brooks trying
It's
to
good
show his
pressure.
skill.
It's good pressure from us. He's had to go backwards there. Couldn't get his head up. We put pressure on the ball. He had to keep his head down, so he's had to come back out and go back to his centre halves. It's good pressure from us in those midfield areas and deep areas. Rico Hackett, Ben House and Danny Mandroiu all playing their part in that.
Ball with Trusty, goes forward for Larousse, tries to cut inside. In fact, it's Brooks who's been dispossessed by Burrows, now racing down the right. Burrows finds Alistair Smith, a bit of space. Smith goes for the left-footed shot, was just stretching to get onto it. Sheffield United able to defend as the dummy nearly fools Smith, but Lincoln forcing Sheffield United are in their right-hand corner at the moment, and they've managed to find a pass out to Andre Brooks, and now there's space, but Brooks' pass is a poor one. Lincoln getting away with it because there was space for Sheffield United to exploit as they look to do it once again down Lincoln's defensive left, but Jaden Brown back into position for City. Norwood now looks to switch it across to Larousse on the Sheffield United left, but his touch is a poor one, and Lincoln can now bring it forward with Rico Hackett. Just forces Larousse off the ball, and Hackett pokes it forward for Danny Mandroy, just holding on to it. Nobody tracking the run of Burrows. Mandroy, who goes for the, well, looked like a shot in the end, I think. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a cross towards the far post or a shot.
It was a cross to Ben House, who had drifted off Basham at the far post. The game's just opening up, which will suit Sheffield United. Just got to be careful when we push players forward, that as soon as we lose possession, we just funnel straight back into that shape and we get organised. Ben House has had to go over to that far side now because of the change of the front three. Just pointing, you know where you are in the pitch and you know what you need to do defensively.
Archer trying to work something with his strike partner McBurney. Now played out to Larousse again on the left-hand side. A little bit of space for the left wing back to have a go at Burrows. He goes past Burrows, goes for the shot. It's well blocked by TJ Ayoma. We're going to get our first corner of the game, 32.5 minutes in. And, well, again, it was just that little bit of space opened up by the home team. 0-0.
Yeah, just Larousse, wasn't it? Just went the other side of Burrows, but TJ did really well. Stepped out as his centre half. The right side is centre half, and just big opponent for Larousse, and just smashed it against him. Good defending from TJ.
Right-footed in, swinging corner then for Sheffield United. Bringing Egan Basham forward. Corner comes in. Jensen comes, gets a big punch on it, only out to the edge of the other side of the penalty area, though, picked off by Sheffield United on the edge of the area, but it's well won back by Lincoln City, and they've got space left and right. Arahan, oh, he just gets the pass all wrong. Lincoln had players forward, including Alex Mitchell, and now there's space at the back as Sheffield United play it out towards the right wing to McBurney. Rowan up there with him. Rowan sticking with him all the way and
Brilliant.
Puts it behind for a corner.
Oh, Ethan Arahan. If he looked left, they were runners, but he's tried to play it and under-hit it, and then that just opens up the pitch. And Norwood, who's just beginning to pull a one or two strings now. Great ball out to McBurney, but Sean Rowan did really well, didn't dive in, asked the centre forward to make the decision, and then covered it. Brilliant from Sean Rowan.
Right-footed out swinging corner now. McBurney tries to control it back to Larousse. Again, Lincoln looking to get in there. The shot comes in from Trusty, and he's
hit it in the same place as he did with the cross.
Tier, yeah. So 0-0 still here. Blackburn look like they're safely through to round 3 already. They're 3-0 up away at Harrogate after 35 minutes. 34 minutes played here, and that was the chance, that was the moment, wasn't it? Lincoln have been looking for a Sheffield United attack. It breaks down. Lincoln have players forward, as you say, Ethan Arahan. He was tunnel vision to his right when he had an open gap to his left.
I don't know who the runners were, but he had 2 or 3 runners to the left-hand side of him. If he'd have picked the better pass, I'm not saying that the pass was the wrong pass, I just think he under-hit it, which then put us under pressure because we had players running forward off his breakaway. So if you're in the breakaway, you've got to make sure that your pass out of that break is a good one, and it wasn't, and it put us under a little bit of pressure. But like I say, Sean Rowan did ever so well against McBurney over that far side. As a defender, Rob, you just sometimes want the centre forward to make a decision. Right, what are you going to do with it? And then I'll react to that. And he did brilliantly, Sean Rowan.
10 minutes to go until half-time. Trusty bringing it forward for Sheffield United here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Lincoln City holding the Premier League opposition for the moment. Larousse fires it into Brooks, who couldn't control it. Again, you hear a few murmurings as Ayoma has to be careful now. He's being forced back the wrong way. He's facing his own goal. Plays it up against his man. Lincoln able to get it clear now with Hackett. Wins Lincoln a throw, and just there, it's just the difficulty. That's the difference, isn't it, between League One and Premier League. The spaces that you might have in League One, the extra second or two you might have, they don't exist at this level.
TJ looked up, didn't see anything. TJ just put it into an area. Just put it in behind Sheffield United's defence. If nobody gets it, they're still 70, 80 yards from our goal. Just put it in that area. If nobody gets there, it doesn't matter, because the centre half's going to pick it up 20 yards from his own goal. As soon as you just have that hesitation there, you put yourself under pressure, and then you haven't got to get out, because then you can't clip the ball in behind. Just clip it in behind, and then just get your shape again.
Sheffield United with it on the halfway line, still goalless. Final 9 minutes of this first 45. It's in with Trusty to Norwood once again. Plays it out to the right to Basham. Basham goes back into Brooks in the midfield. Now back with Egan on the halfway line, across to Trusty once again. Certainly those centre-halves had a lot of the ball for Sheffield United, which is probably pleasing Mark Kennedy more than anything, as Ben House nearly steals it off the toes of Koulibaly.
It's good every time it goes into Koulibaly. Not so much Norwood, because Norwood's so deep that they can't really get close to him. But as soon as it goes into them little midfield areas in between, just behind Ben House and in front of Arahan and Smith, we're snapping at them from both sides. It's really good from us. It has to force Sheffield United back, their midfielders back into the centre halves, and we just get our shape again. It's good defensively from us. It really is.
Norwood has it on the centre circle, plays it out to the left to Larousse, looking to work the 1-2 with Koulibaly, but again Lincoln are there. Arahan, Smith, Hackett, all watching the space, and now Smith has it, plays it for Mandroiu. Lovely ball forward to the right, can't get it though to Rico Hackett. It's a nice idea from Lincoln City, nice idea from Danny Mandroiu, just the execution not quite there. A couple of moments like that for Lincoln in this first half, where just that final ball has just been lacking, but 0-0 after 38 minutes, we'd all take that, wouldn't we, Mark?
Absolutely. I said 0-0 at half-time, and then see what happens. Alistair Smith did really well in that last bit of possession for Sheffield United. Took it off Koulibaly, and then good pass into midfield. And like I say, Danny Mandroiu's pass just under hit for Rico Hackett, but Egan read it really well for Sheffield United, the skipper.
Again, Lincoln are able to dispossess their opponents and work it down the left-hand side. And there's space for Mandroiu. He's got House to his right, plays it into Smith. Oh, just gets dispossessed. But Lincoln have it once again with Mitchell. Now, skipper for the night, Ethan Arahan, to Ayoma on the halfway line. Forward for Alistair Smith, out wide to Burrows. And it's been noticeable that Lincoln wanting to get their wing-backs forward, they've not really been tracked by the runners of Sheffield United, as Ayoma looks for the switch of play. Bogle's able to take it down. It goes back to the goalkeeper Davis. He goes long first time. One for McBurney to fight with Sean Rowan. McBurney wins the header into Archer. Ayoma though straight in away. He's been superb tonight so far, TJ Ayoma.
That was important, Rob, because McBurney won the header and then Archer was able to bring that ball down, but TJ just stepped in and snapped at him to take the ball off him. Really important that was, because if Archer had got a half turn on, it would have been hard to stop him at that point.
Lincoln looking to work the 1-2, but Hackett just overplays it and it goes out of play for a Sheffield United throw this time.
Mark Kennedy just goes and gets a bit of water, just frustrated with Rico there. Poor decision from him. I think he could have just had a touch and maybe gotten a half turn there. A difficult ball to try and turn that round the corner for Burrows on the overlap. Brilliant from Ben House again.
To win it back, and he's found Rico Hackett. Hackett just gets dispossessed, had nobody in front of him. Smith, though, has it to Burrows. Into Smith once again. Now with Ethan Arahan in the centre circle. To Danny Mandroiu, having to go back, being forced back, working his way across the pitch though. Goes to the right to TJ Ayoma. Lovely little step inside from TJ Ayoma. Now looks for the switch of play to left wing back Jaden Brown, who was in a little bit of space. Can't go forward, so decides to go back to Arahan. Now into the centre of midfield to Smith. Finds Mandroiu again. It just seems to be everywhere at the moment. TJ Ayoma now working it forward. Out to the right to Burrows. Good play from Lincoln. Burrows first time crosses fizzed away by the defence. Lincoln win it back once again, and Mitchell puts it out of play. But again, good football. Patient build-up from Lincoln City. Remains 0-0. 40 minutes on the clock.
We just look confident, don't we? You know, they're not causing us too many problems. We look confident on the ball. Really good performance so far. Just our final pass, just our execution in the final third at the moment. It's just lacking.
Ball is with Sheffield United on the halfway line, and Brooks goes back to Norwood. Looks for the switch of play out to Jaden Bogle. Has to control it with his chest. Brown straight in on him. Back now with the centre half in John Egan, just coming up to the centre circle, goes over the halfway line now. Plays the pass low to his left to Trusty and then to Larousse. Goes past Hackett. Larousse's looked good so far down that left-hand side. Looks to play it back to Trusty. Ayoma comes across, and that will be Sheffield United's third corner of the evening. Ayoma felt it was a goal kick.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lincoln players thought that was a goal kick. Again, Larousse down this side, he's a bit hit and miss, isn't he? But when he's hit, he does cause problems because he just drifts inside, and he seems to have a bit of pace to get past Burrows, and then it's difficult then to who's going to come across to block him. But no, TJ's done really well there so far.
Corner comes in from Norwood, headed away by TJ Omer at the near post, out for a Sheffield United throw, which is taken by Norwood, goes back to Larousse. Lincoln just trying to reset from the corner, not been able to do so fully as of yet, which means a space on Sheffield United's attacking right, which they're looking to exploit here with Bogle. Looks up, looks for an option. He's forced back to Norwood on the halfway line. Sheffield United, with all their outfield players, bar the goalkeeper Davis now, at least in the centre circle, if not further forward. Hackett just stops the pass forward. It's with Trusty on the halfway line. Goes back to Egan and then to Norwood again in the centre circle. Out space on the right-hand side now for Basham to come forward. Ben House getting back there and trying to defend. Ben House can't step in and win the challenge. Arahan blocks the pass though, and it's poked forward for Rico Hackett. Now for Mandroyu. He gets dispossessed though by Trusty. And now there's space again maybe for Brooks and Larousse to exploit, but instead they go back to Trusty, into Norwood now. Back out to Brooks once again. And Larousse, he goes back again to Trusty at centre half. Across to Egan, looking for an option, looking for a pass, has to go back to
Brilliant,
Adam
absolutely
Davis.
Brilliant from Lincoln. Defensively, Sheffield United had nowhere to go there. And there's a few grumbling shouts now from the Sheffield United supporters. This game's actually got quite boring. And do you know what? That's music to our ears.
Oh, well won by
that's
TJ
a really
Omer.
bad tackle.
But Lincoln are coming forward with Rico Hackett. Got Smith on his left. Hackett plays it into Mandroyu. Lovely turn from Mandroyu. Tries to poke it through to Ben House.
That is a really bad tackle. And hope TJ's all right with that. Yeah, Mark Kennedy's just making sure.
It was a Yoma and Brooks, wasn't it, coming together?
It's a bad tackle from Brooks, in my opinion. Brooks has come off worse, but thankfully TJ's all right with that.
TJ Omer just stepping in, wasn't it, and winning the ball in the central midfield area.
Brooks came in late and high on him, and I think TJ just saw it coming and was able just to roll it a little bit. But it looks like Brooks has come off worse.
Yeah, down receiving treatment. So 44 minutes played.
It's just a lull in the game, which is great. If you're a Lincoln City supporter, this is exactly what you want.
So,
we've actually nullified the Premiership side. We have.
You know, we've talked a lot about it in commentary. You know, when we talk, you know, if we did a tally of the names we've mentioned in commentary, Egan, Norwood, Trusty and Basham are probably the four names we've mentioned most, and Norwood is the only one that's not a defender, and he's playing near enough as a sweeper, isn't he?
Almost playing 10 yards from John Egan, who's a central defender. So, you know, it's perfect game plan so far, executed really well by the players.
Long throw from Lincoln, comes inside for Hackett, now into Ben House. House trying to get into the penalty area. We're going to have 1 minute of added time. Brooks waiting to come back on. Be a Lincoln throw once again. So 1 minute of added time we are just entering now. Lincoln with a throw in the offensive third, which Sean Rowan takes, plays it into Mandroyu. Lincoln still trying to fight for it in the edge of the penalty area. Hackett trying to get something on it. House trying to fight for it as well. Sheffield United are able to bring it away with Norwood, but he goes back again to Trusty. Brooks is back on the pitch. Hackett just trying to get across, use that last little bit of energy in the legs before he can take on some fluids at the break. And it's McBurney forward, looking to work the 1-2. Ethan Arahan superb to block the ball forward. And there is the half-time whistle. 0-0 at the break. When we look at the statistics, very little in terms of goal-mouth opportunities, very little in terms of attacking play from Sheffield United, and exactly how Lincoln would have wanted this game to go so far.
Brilliant game plan, absolutely brilliantly executed by the players. That's exactly what I was hoping Lincoln City would be able to produce in this first half. They've nullified Sheffield United. Sheffield United have had probably a couple of half chances. I don't remember Luke Jensen having a save to make. He's had one punch from across, that's been it, or a corner, that's been it. And then we've had, I would dare say, 2 or 3 little half chances ourselves. Rico Hackett's probably had the only shot on target. So, you know, we're well in this game. And that's the game plan executed brilliantly by the players.
And the big thing about this game plan and the way Mark Kennedy set his side up is every single player has to do their job perfectly, don't they? Because if one player goes out of the system or decides to go for their own, that's when Sheffield United can break.
They'll exploit you. That's exactly. That's why you see Sheffield United trying to get on Norwood on the ball, and they're trying to feed little passes in to make that for Lincoln just to switch off in their defensive shape, like you quite rightly said. Somebody to step out into the wrong, make wrong decisions in their defensive shape. Lincoln haven't done that. Every decision they've made, if they've made a mistake, somebody's covered them very quickly for it. So their defensive shape is absolutely brilliant. I just want them to be a little bit more composed in the final third, and I'm being really critical here because, you know, they've executed it perfectly, but if I'm going to be really critical, it's the fact that they've had 1 or 2 great little positions they've been in and haven't quite hit that final pass, haven't quite got that opening. But brilliant first half performance, exactly what you want when you come to a Premiership side. And there's grumblings in the crowd.
One player I do want to pick out, I know it's only half time, but we talked about him pre-match, TJ Aoma. He's up against a man who's just been bought for, £18 million in Cameron Archer. And TJ's been superb, hasn't he?
Well, all the back three have. I think Mitchell's done really well. He's stepped out a couple of times. He's covered areas when he's needed to. He looks a really good asset to this squad. He looks quick. He looks physical. He looks decent on the ball as well. And like you say, TJ alongside him and Sean's made really good decisions. You know, remember, he's only 19, 20 years of age. He's made some really good decisions in that first half. TJ's been exemplary. You know, the only critical bit I've had is in that little bit in the 5 minutes to go where he should have just clipped it down the channel over the top, you know, to reset us. But, you know, apart from that, every decision he's made has been the correct decision. We've looked a very well organised and accomplished League One side tonight, and we're causing Sheffield United problems. John Egan had to go back to the goalkeeper at one point. You know, that's a Premiership side having to be forced to go back to their goalkeeper. That says it all for me, 5 minutes before half time.
So it's been good so far from Lincoln City. Can they keep it up in the second half? Commentary's coming around 15 minutes time here on Hope and Glory on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. To take you through the rest of the half times in the League Cup, including that game at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and AFC Wimbledon, here's Beth Pritchard.
Yes, and it's not going to take long to go through the games. We've only got a few, of course, most happening yesterday. So we'll start with a game that's going probably as expected. Blackburn Rovers, they're away at Harrogate Town, winning 4-0. A couple of minutes over into extra time there. 1 goal scored in the 46th minute. So I bet Harrogate are hoping for that half-time whistle. Elsewhere, Nottingham Forest, Burnley is goalless, as is Doncaster Rovers Everton. They kicked off at 8. So just over half hour into that game, still goalless. And then the standout game then, down in the south, Chelsea are hosting AFC Wimbledon. It is now 1-1. After a minute ago, a penalty for Chelsea brought it back for them. AFC Wimbledon initially going 1-0 up. That was a penalty as well, actually. So no goals in open play in that game. Right, we'll take a break for a bit of music. This is one of our local songs. This is Georgie Hansen.
It is BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Welcome back for second half commentary of Lincoln City at Sheffield United. There are changes galore happening down pitch side. For Lincoln City, there is a change, and it is Ted Bishop who's coming on for Ben House by the looks of it. I can't see Ben House as appeared marked.
No, I can't see Ben either.
So again, that might mean a change of shape potentially. We'll see. We're going to see 2 changes as well for Sheffield United. One of them is the number 11, Benny Traore, who started here at the weekend. He's coming on, and also coming on is Louis Marsh, who scored a hat-trick for the development side earlier on. It looks like it's Ollie McBurney who's won. Archer remains on. I think it's Andre Brooks, the man who suffered a bit of a knock at the end of the first half with that clash with TJ Aoma.
Yeah, it looks like Marsh. Is it Marsh will come on?
Marsh is on.
Yeah,
the
young lad will come on for McBurney, play up with Cameron, Archer, and like you say, Brooks took quite a hefty knock. I thought was quite a nasty challenge on TJ Omer, and he came off worse by the look of things, because TJ's able to start the second half for Lincoln. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where Teddy Bishop goes.
Yeah, so Ben House off, Ted Bishop on. So what do you think will happen here? Is it going to be a change of shape, or will Rico Hackett maybe take up the central role?
I think Rico will probably take the central role, and Teddy and Mandreo alongside him.
So we're back underway for the start of the second half then. And it's Sheffield United who are trying to get forward with Marsh. Plays it out to Larousse. Lincoln City attacking the end with their fans in now in the second 45 minutes. It's United who have it with Larousse looking to work the 1-2. Marsh into the edge of the penalty area to Archer. Sheffield United trying to start this second half strongly. It was a quiet first 45 minutes for Lucas Jensen in the Lincoln City goal. And it's Sheffield United who've been forced back once again to the halfway line. The ball is out to the left-hand side. Larousse, in fact, can't control it out of play. I just wonder with Ben House, game this weekend at Bristol Rovers, we know Tyler Walker picked up a knock in training. There's not a like-for-like replacement there, is there? You don't want to risk losing Ben House for Saturday, do you?
No, and I think it's probably a sensible move from Mark Kennedy. Unfortunately, you know, we lose Ben at the top of the tree, if you like, for his pressing and what he gives us and causes problems for Sheffield United's backline. But yeah, just a little protection maybe.
Yeah, Rico Hackett playing up there now with Bishop on the right and Mandreu staying on the left-hand side as Ioma cuts out the forward ball. Bishop goes back to Alex Mitchell and then across to Sean Rowan, plays the left-footed ball downfield. Mandreu flicks it on, can't find Hackett, cleared away by Egan. Rowan misjudges the header, but Mitchell behind him just sweeps things up as Sheffield United looking with the early intensity in the start of this second half with Bogle down the right. His pass forward is a poor one, cut off by Arahan, and good turn from Rico Hackett. And Lincoln have got players forward in this attack. They've got Danny Mandreu racing down the left. Smith's at the far post. Mandreu plays it across. It's just too far for Smith, who can't get there, and Larousse steps in. And again, Lincoln's counter-attacking threat there was superb.
It's just a final ball, isn't it? Danny Mandreu does ever so well to pick out Smith, and Smith, I think, just held on to his run, which meant he couldn't get the other side, the Sheffield United defender. But again, Rico Hackett did really well because he just let the ball run across him, which opened it up, the space for him to run into. And then Danny Mandreu coming up like a train alongside him, just took up the mantle and was running away from the Sheffield United players. It was Danny Mandreu.
Yeah, Lincoln have looked good again. Rico Hackett, really good hold-up play there from him, wasn't there?
Really good, yes, because he could have had a touch which would have put him under pressure, but he just awareness right at the last minute to let it go over his foot to open up the space in front of him and then just run away from his markers. Good play from him, good awareness and quick thinking as well from Rico Hackett.
Throw from Sean Rowan, headed away by Jaden Bogle. Be another Lincoln throw. Goal going in just before half-time in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Doncaster of League Two, who've only won one game this season, and that's in the League Cup. They've not won in the league yet. They're beating Everton 1-0. So it could be a shock not too far away from here. Mandreu has it. Oh, lovely little bit of skill from Danny Mandreu, who wins the free kick.
He's on fire at the moment, isn't he?
Back, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, great skill from him. He just seems to be getting better in it, and then there's the other side of him.
And then he plays it against Traore and tries to say to the referee, look, Traore's stopping the free kick happening, because that's the new rule this year. If you block a free kick happening, you're going to get a yellow card. And I can understand why Danny Mandreu's tried that. Yeah, referee's having none of it.
But to be fair to Paul Tierney, he's just going, hang on a minute. You've not really given him a chance to get away from the ball there. So, sensible refereeing from the Premiership ref.
So Arahan ready to take this free kick. Plays it in towards the penalty area. Mitchell heads it back across goal. Cleared away. It hits Danny Mandreu. Bogle goes back to his goalkeeper Davis and clears long. Lincoln just have to be careful, because this is where Sheffield United have been the most dangerous, and trying to play the 1-2 with Cameron Archer, but Sean Rowan again, superb piece of covering defending from him. Mandreu has it on the halfway line, looks for the long ball down the middle for Ted Bishop. Bishop getting his shirt all pulled, but Sheffield United head it back to their goalkeeper, Davis.
Yeah, Egan did really well again there. Shows his experience. But Sean Rowan did brilliantly there.
Here comes Sheffield United with Traore moving forward. Mitchell, couple of challenges, gets there on the second one. Still Sheffield United with Traore, edge of the penalty area. Ioma tries to step in. Traore now into the box, tries to cross it in, but Burrows blocks it, and Bishop can bring it away for Lincoln. Looks for an intelligent ball down the right for Rico Hackett, who just couldn't get there in front of John Egan. Right idea from Bishop there, just to get Lincoln down the field.
John Egan's just showing all his experience at the back there for Sheffield United. He just reads everything, he just mops things up for them.
Still 0-0 then, 5 minutes into this second half on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Ball played forward by Basham, but Rowan can deal with it. Mandroy plays it short for Arahan, and then he opens the pitch out for Smith. And now Burrows looks up, just Lincoln just taking their time. Ted Bishop just telling his fellow right-sided player to take the time, and now Bishop has it over the halfway line into Burrows. Nobody tracking the run of Bishop for the moment. Smith then picks it up in the centre of midfield to Bishop, just tries a little careful flick through, and it's well won back by Sheffield United. Arahan tries to hold Archer off for the time being, but can't do so, and now here come the home side, looking to play it forward with Bogle, having to stretch down the right to keep it in play. Jaden Brown with him. Bogle tries to go past Brown. Great challenge from Jaden Brown. He's kept it in play. Brown remains on the ground.
Proper snapped into the tackle there, Jaden Brown. That was good from him. Already snapped into it. Bogle just had a little bit of a loose touch, and Jaden Brown just snapped into the tackle and left the Sheffield United man in a heap on the floor.
Bogle's back on his feet, just hobbling back into an onside position. Play continues with Sheffield United in with Marsh in the central midfield position. Goes to Norwood. Looks up, goes to his left to the halfway line now to Koulibaly, and the ball played through to Archer. Archer with the effort, good save from Jensen. Has to go down to his right hand side just to help it away. It's the first real sight on goal the £18 million man's had.
Yeah, first time they've got through us really, and the ball they've been able to thread through the lines of our three centre halves, and Archer onto it like a flash, but good save from Jensen. He got down well, the big man.
Bogle looks to play it forward for Traore. Traore goes down so easily.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
Certainly, he's added a bit more dynamism, hasn't he, in the centre forward area, Traore?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
A bit more movement, a bit more pace.
Yeah, he just wants to get on the ball, doesn't he? He's just dropping into little holes. There's a little bit of an inquest going on, because it was a little bit too easy for Archer to get down a side in between Hamilton and TJ there. So just got to switch on again.
7.5 minutes into this second half. It is 0-0 between Sheffield United and Lincoln City here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Rob Makepeace, Mark Hone, your commentary team. Jensen goes long. Can't find Bishop. Headed away by Larousse to his left-hand side. Burrows snapping into the challenge. It goes back to Trusty. And now played into Norwood, who's just a few yards further forward in the midfield area at the start of this second half. He's picking up the ball from not so deep a position. And it's Sheffield United coming forward down the left with Trusty into Larousse. Just having a little bit of a spell here, the Premier League side. Norwood forward to Marsh. Looks to play it in behind the Lincoln defence. Blocked for the time being. Now with Egan. Out to the left, to the right, sorry, to Bogle. Brown watching him. Bogle looks to take on Jaden Brown. Cross comes in, not properly cleared by Lincoln. Smith gets it up into the air, and that should be an easy gather for Lucas Jensen. And it is, and it remains 0-0 as Blackburn go 5-0 up at Harrogate elsewhere in the League Cup tonight.
Yeah, just quickened the pace of the game up a little bit, Sheffield United. It just puts on the back foot a little bit. So we just need to counter this at the moment, as John Egan makes his first mistake of the game. It just smashes it straight out of play. But we just need to settle, just concentrate. It just causes one or two problems. I think the substitute, Traore's just dropping a little bit deeper and just playing in between Alistair Smith and Arahan, which is making it a little bit harder to pick him up. And he's in that position where the centre half don't know whether to step out or whether it's Alistair Smith's or Arahan's to mark him. Just changed the shape slightly.
Throw for City and Sean Rowan. Looks for Rico Hackett. Reminder, Ben House going off at half-time. Ted Bishop replacing him. So Hackett now as the central striker, looking to get past Basham, but difficult job there for City's number 7. No Tyler Walker on the bench. Picked up a knock in training on Monday, which is why he's not involved tonight. Lincoln's bench: Lass Sorensen, Adam Jackson, Ethan Hamilton, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher, Jovan McCarmer, and some goalkeeper Jordan Wright, as Sheffield United have possession in central midfield. Go out to the right to Basham, now into Jaden Bogle. Plays it inside for Koulibaly. Now Norwood looks to play it over the top. Sean Rowan again positions himself perfectly to head it away. Hackett does well, and he's been caught there.
That's a wild swing, that was.
Koulibaly's going to get booked here.
Yeah.
And that's the first yellow of the game.
Yeah, it's not been that kind of game either. Rico Hackett just stuck his left boot out there with his long legs and managed to toe kick, but then I think Koulibaly just had a real swipe at him. Trying to play the ball, but I think Rico Hackett was too quick for him. So, to be fair, Paul Tierney's not done anything really in his game, has he? He's not had to really ref it as such, if that makes sense, because he's not had to really speak to many players, but that was definitely a little bit of a wild swing.
No, there's been no flash points, has there, so far? Ball played forward out towards the right-hand side. Mitchell can't get there. Challenged by Alistair Smith on the substitute Marsh, so it'll be a free kick. So we're at 56 minutes played. It is 0-0. Sheffield United have it out to the right to Bogle. Certainly Bogle's having a lot more of possession in the opening 10 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, they've just tried to step up see, people are laughing around us. I mean, this is, you know, this just only adds to the frustration that these fans will start thinking.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United fans would come here tonight expecting an easy victory.
Absolutely.
Through to round 3, they've probably got the recording of the cup draw in the planner ready to go.
Yeah.
But Lincoln City are proving, as we know, more than a match.
Yeah.
Rico Hackett in the left-hand corner. Pokes it through for Jaden Brown. Goes back to Mandroy, who fired into the box. It was a good ball.
It was a good ball.
Teddy Bishop was caught on his toes there, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He just caught on his back foot, Teddy Bishop, not expecting the cross, and it was a really good one from Danny Mandroyo. Just running down a cul-de-sac there. Sheffield United.
And now Lincoln, Rahan again. His passing's not been there tonight so far, and it's Sheffield United driving forward. Koulibaly trying to find his way through, but Lincoln,
Mitchell, brilliant from him,
have been superb. And Mitchell plays it out to the right to Ted Bishop. Lincoln with 3 players forward in this attack. Bishop driving down the middle, no challenge on him. Ted Bishop, with a left-footed shot, gets blocked. And Sheffield United will now look to counter. The good thing for Lincoln there is they didn't throw bodies forward. It was the 3 attacking players in that attack.
Exactly, which means that Sheffield United have to go backwards because their defensive shape's in place. But Teddy Bishop, I thought it was another Doncaster moment, Rob.
It felt the same, didn't it? Run down the middle.
I was almost tempted to bring the phrase back out again if that had buried itself in the bottom corner, but no, it was a good block from John Egan again, I think. But there's the break. That's what you're trying to play for.
Norwood just hits it against Rico Hackett there. As I say, there's little moments. I think Sheffield United, they stand on the ball, don't they? Almost, they bring the play to a halt.
Yeah.
And then that's when they don't get the passing right, as Norwood now looks to set some attacking play going down the right-hand side with Basham. Bogle trying to break away from Sean Rowan, sticking to the task. City's left-sided centre-half.
Brilliant from Sean Rowan.
Will be a Sheffield United throw, taken quickly. Back out to Bogle. Now Norwood looking for the first time cross. It's a decent ball in. Jensen gets a really good punch on it. Archer was the one lurking, as Rahan finds Mandroyu. Jaden Brown on the overlap. Mandroyu just so comfortable on the ball, isn't he? As Rahan again, he's not having the greatest of games this evening, is he? Of all the players, he's the one really.
I know, he's the one that's just lacking a little bit. Oh, Mitchell, brilliant. He's getting better and better, Mitchell. I really like this young man. On loan from Millwall. He broke Teddy Bishop's break there. He stepped out and made a right tackle 20 yards out from his own goal. And there he just stepped across and was strong and big. I like him.
Yeah, he's been good, hasn't he, so far? But yeah, Ethan Arahan, who's usually Mr. Dependable.
His passing's been awful.
Yeah. Still 0-0 though, coming up to the hour mark here on Hope and Glory. Ball out to Sheffield United on the right-hand side with Bogle.
But that's what he is good at.
He's really good and wins a free kick there. Lincoln have been allowed to play the advantage, and it's Rico Hackett who has it. Mandroiu's just stopped, and he's held on to the ball now. Tries to play it back to Smith. Lincoln just losing the emphasis of the attack, but they've kept hold of the ball, which I'm sure Mark Kennedy's very happy with. And now Rico Hackett with chance to run down the left-hand side. Crosses it into the box. It's going to fall to Burrows, is it? No, Larousse just steps in.
Keep it in, Sean.
Rowan does keep it in. Plays it across to Ethan Arahan.
There's just little signs, isn't there?
It's opening up this game.
Yeah.
For both teams, isn't there? The counter-attacks are happening.
We've just got to be careful about committing men forward. That doesn't then give Sheffield United the spaces to run into for their movement to then cause us problems. We've just got to be disciplined still.
It will be a throw for Lincoln on the right-hand side with TJ Ioma. Bishop back to Ioma. Bishop just helps it on now to Burrows. Into Bishop. Bishop moving forward. Bishop into Hackett. Hackett trying to work the space. Hackett, just gets dispossessed again at the final moment. And this is where Lincoln do have to be careful. Ball out to Traore. Rowan is going to get there. And clears it long. Superb again from Sean Rowan. Mandroiu steals it off. Jaden Bogle out for a throw.
Yeah, they're having a little whinge at Teddy Bishop because they had two over here. Mandroiu and Jaden Brown had come up in attack as well. Teddy just chose the wrong option for me.
We're about to see another 3 changes for Sheffield United in a moment or two, but Larousse has possession on the halfway line. Remember, they've got a big game this weekend against Everton. I know it's early on in the Premier League season, but both sides without a point. And Sheffield United being the home side.
The relegation 6-point already at this time of the season.
And they've given it away, and Lincoln have got a chance to come forward once again. And it's with Danny Mandroiu. He's got Bishop to his right. Mandroiu has it, looks to play it through. The gap for Bishop slides in. And it just goes wide. Great football once again from Lincoln City. Danny Mandroiu has his head in his hands. Could Teddy Bishop have done any more, Mark?
No, the weight of the pass, it was just getting shorter and shorter, the weight of the pass to get to the goalkeeper, and the only thing he could do was slide and try and hook it back in, and it's just unfortunate. Just the pace of the ball from Danny Mandroiu. He was waiting for Teddy Bishop to make that move in behind the defender, but by that time the space was so difficult to find the pass. Teddy Bishop did all he can, but couldn't wrap his foot around it.
So changes to be made. Cameron Archer off, Jaden Bogle off, Yasser Larousse is off. On will come Will Asula, who's been playing mainly up front for Sheffield United. He's been their main man up front this season so far. Femi Sariki, the ex-Boston United man, and Jili Biabu as well. So 2 younger players, and Will Asula, who is still relatively a young player, but has had to be the main man. I did see Sean Rowan was just receiving a bit of treatment for cramp, I think, and Adam Jackson was ready to come on, but looks like maybe they've held off on that for a moment or two. But yeah, Bishop, great opportunity, wasn't it? The pass from Mandroiu was...
It was really good, but they were just running out of space to find that pass. It had to be literally inch perfect, and he just overhit it, Mandroiu, which meant Teddy Bishop had to slide and stretch. But great play from us again.
Lasse Sorensen's going to come on for Lincoln. So Sheffield United have made their 5 changes now.
Yeah.
That's them done and dusted in terms of substitutes.
You did very well there, Rob, by the way, keeping up to date with all that.
Not easy with the striped shirts, seeing the numbers as well from where we are, but it is still 0-0.
This is finely poised. It's really finely poised because either side can win this.
Adam Jackson is being prepared to come on as Sheffield United go long. So Asula more in the mould of Ollie McBurney, height-wise.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe a change of shape from Sheffield United.
Yeah, looks like they've gone 3 up. It looks like a similar sort of shape, but I think they just tried to change his shape.
Now Lasse Sorensen's going to come on, and Adam Jackson are going to come on. We'll see what happens with the changes. Long ball from Jensen from the goal kick. Hackett battling for it, and he's done well just to poke it back.
He's done really well, Hackett. He's been excellent
He's been
tonight.
really good, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been really good tonight.
Spoke to him in the build-up to this game about finding a home at Lincoln, and he just looks like a player who's playing with confidence. As TJ Omer has it over the halfway line, inside for Bishop, who goes down, wants a free kick, nothing given. Now Traore's going to have a run at Lincoln's defence. Lincoln see it out though, but it will be a Sheffield United throw. Are we going to see the changes from Lincoln? We are. So now Lincoln about to make the next of their changes. So they made one at half time.
It's an interesting
Here comes
one.
2 and 3. So Sean Rowan's coming off, who, as I say, was suffering with cramp a moment or two ago.
He's had an excellent game, Sean Rowan. He's not put a foot wrong tonight.
No, and he's
And
frustrated,
you
but
could tell,
I can
yeah,
understand, you know, Mark Kennedy again will be thinking about the bigger picture, won't he?
Yeah.
And Jaden Brown's going to come off as well here. Again, a player who's not had too many minutes, so I would imagine this will be the swap around. So
Yeah,
Jack Burrows will come across to left wing back.
Yeah, Lass will go right.
So Lincoln still with 2 subs remaining. Players left on the bench: Ethan Hamilton, Dylan Duffy, Oshin Gallagher and Jovan McCartney. So with those 2, you'd probably say Hamilton and Duffy are the obvious final 2, aren't they?
Yeah. I think, to be fair to Jaden Brown, I think he's had a good game.
Stuck to the task well. And,
Yeah.
and again, I think these changes, Mark Kennedy always says it's about what Lincoln do, but Sheffield United have changed both their wing backs, and you need some fresh legs at times, don't you, to cover for that?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever happens from now on, you know, Mark Kennedy will be proud of his side because, you know, the game plan's been brilliant. The players have executed it spot on. It's just now a matter of can we get that one chance, one bit of quality from us.
Sorensen, first pass, just gives it to Sheffield United into the edge of the penalty area, but Alistair Smith does superbly to win it back. Those long legs striding forward over the halfway line for Mandroyu. Looks up, looks for the ball forward for Hackett.
Difficult. That was too difficult, Danny Mandroyu.
But Rico Hackett's done really well to win it back. It's now with Ethan Arahan to Burrows. Lincoln just settling themselves down. So change at the back in terms of the centre half 3 as well, because Jackson now playing in the middle, Mitchell on the right and Ioma over on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
As Blackburn goes 6-0 up at Harrington. 67 minutes in here to this game, and it's still Premier League Sheffield United 0, League One Lincoln City 0 here on Hope and Glory. Ball is with Norwood. Out to Mandroyu, back into the centre half position to Egan. And now it's out to the left hand side to Larousse.
Again, just a change. He's just got to concentrate. Get your communication right. You know, your shape's just been disrupted. You haven't changed the shape, but just the personnel's changing the shape. So you've just got to get your communication right. You've got to get your concentration levels.
Ball is in the midfield area at the moment with Koulibaly. Helps it out to the left to Austin Trusty. Cross coming into the box. TJ Omer heads it away, only to Norwood, 35 yards out. Helps it out to the right to Sariki, the former Boston United man. Basham tries to get the cross in. Burrows goes back to TJ Omer. Swings a right boot fit and clears it away. Hackett wins the header and gets the free kick as well.
Yeah, sorry, Robert. I read what was going to happen.
You called it.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Rico Hackett's been excellent in this game.
I've got Dean Ashton, the former Norwich striker, alongside me.
Yeah.
He's got lots of notes on his iPad. I'm not sure what his notes are saying, but I'm sure he'll be impressed by what Lincoln have done.
Yeah,
so far.
absolutely. You know, I overheard him saying that he wasn't sure what Lincoln would provide tonight in terms of team selection, and I felt like saying they'll have a game on Sheffield United, Dean. I'm telling you.
Ball cleared away from the free kick. Great touch from Marsh. Looks to set Traore off down the right-hand side. He's looked lively since he's come on. Straight into the arms of Lucas Jensen, but if there's one man at the moment who looks like he's going to cause Lincoln some danger, it's Traore.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And TJ looked a little bit like he was breathing heavy there, and his legs are heavy, which is not surprising, given he's not played a lot of football.
In the last couple of weeks, as he started off the season, and then so he's not been in the last 2 matchday squads. Arahan passes it forward, looking for Rico Hackett. And I just wonder, as great as Hackett's been, those legs are looking ever so tired, aren't they, now, the amount of running he's got through.
Yeah, he just got caught on his heels there. He just didn't quite anticipate where Arahan wanted him to play the ball. I'm more worried about TJ at the moment. He looks like he needs to get a second win from somewhere.
What he could really do was the ball being down the other end of the pitch, which it is at the moment with Adam Davis. 70 minutes played, 20 to go, 0-0. Rob Makepeace, Mark Coney, commentary team. Koulibaly has it for Sheffield United. Looks to play it forward for Marsh, one of the 5 substitutes Sheffield United have used. Lincoln still have 2 subs available to them. It's out to Basham on the right-hand side. Plays it forward for Asula. Lincoln wanted the offside flag to go up, nothing given. Ioma gets a toe to it. Sariki backing up Asula. And looks to play in behind Burrows. Sariki into the box. Oh, and Adam Jackson slides in. It gets put behind for a corner.
Burrows just got caught sleeping a little bit there. He just ball watched for a split second. Got it, one little 1-2 in behind him. And Adam Jackson does brilliantly at the near post.
11,040 the attendance. We know Lincoln about 2,800 or so. Tickets. Lucas Jensen's down now, needs a bit of treatment.
Yeah, I don't know what actually. I didn't see what happened there actually.
Just as I think he dived, didn't he? Went to go down to block the.
I don't know if he collided with a Sheffield United player.
Yeah, Adam Jackson was there, wasn't he, as well? So Jensen down in a bit of treatment. Lincoln will have to defend a corner when play does get back underway. So Jensen just down, having some treatment. Jordan Wright, the sub-goalkeeper, who had a great record of saving penalties in this competition.
Yeah.
Just, let's say, Lincoln with 2 subs remaining.
I think Alex Mitchell's just getting something on his calves as well. I'm not surprised. He probably is feeling it a little bit as well. But Jensen's back on his feet, which is good news.
Yeah.
He might be called here, so clear your head. The goalkeeper. Right, concentrate again.
Here comes corner number 4 then for Sheffield United. Right-footed out swinger. Lincoln just needing to reset themselves here. 17.5 remain. Norwood plays the ball into the box, headed up into the air, and Jensen will come all the way to the edge of his penalty area to the right-hand side and gather it. Blackburn go 7-0 up at Harrogate now.
Oh dear.
That is emphatic, to say the least.
Yeah.
Here, we've had no goals, but Lincoln will be happy with the score being as it is as we edge into the final quarter of an hour or so. Ball headed away by Sheffield United from the goal kick. Ioma just gets in behind, and now looking to set Sariki off down the right-hand side, and the former Boston United man has got so much pace.
Yeah, that
Sariki, and Burrows I think is going to get a booking, and he is. Jack Burrows into the book, and that's going to be a real challenge, as we know from watching Boston United with Sariki. I know it was a few years ago, but he's got quick.
Yeah, he's quick feet. Got good energy. Burrows just got caught on the turn there. Very, very obvious yellow card for him.
So free kick for Sheffield United, wide right position. Lincoln with just Danny Mandroyu is a one-man wall. Norwood, left hand up in the air, delivers this free kick, great header, just gone wide of the post. Lucas Jensen was diving across.
What a ball that is. That is just wanting to be headed in. And it should have been. That's the best chance Sheffield United have created, I think. I know Archer had that shot, but that was a clear chance for Egan. 6 yards out, couldn't direct the header.
Really good opportunity. Probably the best.
Great ball in.
Best of the second half, that, isn't it?
It's just got pace and everything on it, right in between the gap between your defensive line of Lincoln and the goalkeeper Jensen. And yeah, Egan should do better. And I don't know what Jensen's kicking it down the middle for.
Ball cleared up into the air by Norwood. Sorensen heads it forward. Lincoln just looking a little tired now.
Yeah, this
Been
is
a real effort.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of a mental fatigue, physical fatigue, just cutting it, sitting in now. You've just got to try and keep your shape, keep your discipline, really concentrate.
Koulibaly out to the left-hand side to Buyabu. Goes back to Koulibaly, now to Norwood. Lincoln forcing Sheffield United back only to the halfway line though, as Basham has it. Once again, the number 6 plays it forward. Traore gives it away. Smith able to just help it forward and gets Lincoln City a free kick.
Yeah, Danny Mandrea wanted to play on there, but there was nobody around you, Danny, so take the free kick, get a reset.
Blackburn now 8-0 up at Harrogate.
Well, that's not good for Harrogate. Not that we've got any affiliation to Harrogate, but
yeah, as I say,
that damages teams. That does.
No red cards or anything like that in that game either. Chelsea have taken the lead against AFC Wimbledon as well, 2-1. Jensen goes long. Smith tries to help it back into the edge of the penalty area. Hackett wins it back. Arahan thought of shooting, but it's with Smith out to the right to Sorensen. Just helps it back for Mitchell. Forward ball finds Bishop. Good from Lincoln. First chance we've seen him to get forward for a while. Bishop on the right. Back into Smith. Sorensen was just offside, so Smith has to go back to Mitchell now. Forward to Smith. Sorensen trying to win it back. Mitchell's come forward. It's just hit straight out of play for a throw. Panic defending from Sheffield United there.
Yeah, nowhere to go there. The Sheffield United defender couldn't resist going back. It was too tight. So now a chance.
We're going to see a long throw.
A long throw, yeah. It's the second ball. Keep the ball alive. Get in the next phase of play. Get another cross into the box.
What can Lincoln produce here from the last Sorensen long throw, the second half substitute? First chance he's had to hurl one into the penalty area, which he does. Headed away by Sheffield United. Arahan having to try and pull Asula back, and that's going to be a yellow card for Ethan Arahan, but one of those that you'd say is a good yellow card.
Absolutely, that was a good yellow card.
And I think one of the Lincoln players has kicked the ball away as well here.
Who's he pointing at? Paul Tierney. I don't know who that was.
TJ Omer, I think.
I mean,
the ref is not being very clear on his yellow cards tonight. It's
he almost, yeah. He just pointed at somebody and pointed like,
yeah,
it's no good to us.
For the crowd, it's not ideal to understand who is on a yellow card and who's not. But
that was just lazy. He just didn't want to walk towards TJ. That was all it was.
Yeah. Maybe the referee's feeling the pace of the game there. Ethan Arahan's done superb to win it back. Now with Mandroiu. Sorensen in acres of space down the right. Mandroiu holds on to it, finds Alistair Smith. Now out to Sorensen, just forced back for a moment or two into Mitchell. Mitchell needs to be careful and finds Adam Jackson. Lincoln with the fresh legs of Adam Jackson at centre half. Across to TJ Omer. Left-footed ball forward, one for Hackett to try and chase, but Davies is going to bring that into his penalty area and gather it. 78 minutes on the clock. It is still Sheffield United 0, Lincoln City 0 here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. The ball is with Norwood on the halfway line. Lincoln preparing their final two changes. It's going to be Ethan Hamilton, it's going to be Jovan Makama that are about to come on for City. Sheffield United have it on the halfway line with Norwood. Back to the captain Egan. He looks up, goes straight down the middle. Jackson,
brilliant,
just gets his body in the way.
Great defending from Adam Jackson, Rob. That's just experience and know-how. You know the ball's going to go over your head. You just block the attacker in front of you. He can't go anywhere near it and just let it drift into the goalkeeper's hands. Great experience defending from Adam Jackson.
Jensen goes long. Hackett trying to win it. Oof. It's a dodgy clearance, but Davies has scrambled across to get it. Still Lincoln's subs are waiting to come on. Norwood has it, brings it forward, looks for the switch of play out towards the left-hand side. Sorensen there lurking, heads it out of play. And now we are going to see those changes. Well, I think we'll see Rico Hackett as one, won't we? It's just who Ethan Hamilton's going to come on for.
I would take Arahan off. I know he's the skipper, but he's on a booking. The game's going to get stretched, and I would just protect him for Saturday. But
Rico Hackett off. Been superb, hasn't he?
Right.
And Alistair Smith, the other one.
Alistair Smith is the other one. Okay. Rico Hackett's been excellent tonight. I've been very, very impressed with him. And I've also been impressed with Alistair Smith as well. He's competed well in there. He's looked tidy on the ball. Yeah, he's done very well, Alistair Smith and Rico Hackett.
So Lincoln's final 2 changes with 10 left on the clock. Still goalless. Reminder, no extra time. We'll be straight to a shootout.
I don't want to preempt things, but I said I still win on penalties in the car.
Oh, you've said it now. Why?
Well.
Why have you said it? Ball is with Sheffield United. You're going to get so much blame. Sheffield United
if it goes wrong now, well.
You won't be allowed back home.
Yeah.
Ball is out to the right, to the left-hand side for Sheffield United. Hamilton, those fresh legs, just trying to step into the challenge. Switch of play from Sheffield United, looking for Sariki, who heads it on, and that should just drift out. That was a nice header from Sariki, because he's put it out for a goal kick for Lincoln. Just maintaining, isn't it, the mental strength more than anything.
Mentally and physically, you know you're tired, so mentally you have to overcome that. You have to still keep doing your job. You have to concentrate. When you're physically tired, it's the mental aspect of the game now in the last 10 minutes, where you're getting pulled apart still. You haven't got much of the ball. You've still got to concentrate. You've still got to get distances right. You've still got to make the right decisions. It's tough.
Lucas Jensen with the goal kick, can't find a Lincoln man, headed away by Sheffield United.
Ooh.
Jackson steps in to win the header. Masula was about to fly into him, but just avoided him.
Just stopped in time.
Ball is with Trusty at centre half for Sheffield United. Across to Norwood. Makama just watching him. Egan to Sariki, looking to take on Burrows. Goes back to Egan, now to Trusty once again. Ball forward for Sheffield United. Sorensen trying to step into the challenge, but it's good play from the home side. Irahan, though, again steps in and wins the ball back for Lincoln. Sorensen has it. Makama looked like he might have been offside, and he is offside, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. He just went a fraction too early. Just a little bit of inexperience from Jovan there. The idea was right, the run was right. Just went a little bit too eager to get in there, unfortunately.
82 on the clock. 0-0 still here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Ball is with Koulibaly in the centre of midfield. Plays it out towards the right to Basham. Still Sheffield United on the halfway line. Now with Traore. Looking to take on Burrows, who is on a yellow card, but again he's forced back into Egan in the centre circle for the Premier League club. Ball is with Sheffield United. Still on the halfway line. Koulibaly just looking to twist and turn, but those fresh legs of Hamilton have just helped Lincoln City in that area, just not allowing the ball to be played through. Egan has it. Across to Norwood. Norwood straight down the middle. One for Asula to try and chase, which he has been able to keep in. Now Basham tries to play it back through. Burrows and Ioma. And the offside flag's gone up against Will Asula. And that will be a Lincoln City free kick, and another minute has passed on the clock to my left-hand side after last time I looked at it.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little bit nervous now. We're just getting into that stage where can somebody be a hero for us? Can we have one more moment?
There's been one moment in this second half, hasn't there? Ted Bishop's stretch. Is there going to be one more, as you say?
Can we just catch Sheffield United in possession and just break with the last bit of energy that we've got to try and spring forward? Teddy Bishop, Danny Mandreo and Jovan, can we just get that one opportunity?
Makama trying to get his body in the way. Arahan takes it down, plays it out to Mandreu, fires it against Norwood. Little bit of space for Hamilton to head it to his right to Sorensen, and Sorensen thinks he's going to try and take on his own down the right, and he's done really well, last Sorensen. That was men against boys, wasn't it? Biavu, the youngster, against Sorensen, and Sorensen just barged him out of the way like he wasn't there.
Yeah, good tussle that was. A bit of pace, a bit of strength. And I think just a slight advantage to Lass with that one. We've got the throw where he can put a long throw in. Again, it's just making sure we don't get caught. Ethan O'Rourke got booked from this kind of situation last time. So make sure you give yourself an yard, Ethan. But this is second balls now. Can we get the second ball? Can we keep the ball alive in our attacking third?
Sorensen, it's a bit of a looping one, this one. Jackson tries to head it back out to him. He just slipped, didn't he, out of his hands.
Yeah, that's annoying. That is annoying. But rather that happened right down that end.
Yeah, the Sheffield United wanted to get the ball back, play back underway, and just kicked it up into the air.
Yeah, straight into the Lincoln supporters.
Yeah. Not sure what his thoughts were there, but it helped Lincoln, so we don't mind. Ball is with Trusty for Sheffield United on the left. Has that gone out of play? A referee says no. Ioma heads it to his right. Asula trying to protect it. Goes out of play for a Sheffield United throw. Lincoln just need to get back into their shape. It's thrown back into Trusty, who's just come over the halfway line, the left-sided centre-half. Back to Egan, now into Norwood.
Mandreo, just be careful you don't get sucked to the ball there. Just keep your shape, keep your discipline.
Norwood has it to Sariki, back to Egan again on the halfway line for Lincoln. Trying to just hold on, 0-0 still, with 4.5 plus added time to go. It's with Koulibaly. I have to say the home side have been, in terms of the support, have been pretty patient compared to some places we've been to, where they get frustrated very early. Lincoln have won the ball back once again. Makama has it. Lovely little turn from Makama, then he gives the ball away, and it's a chance
brilliant
for Sheffield United, but Arahan again steps in to win it back. Bishop gets a little toe on it, but it's with Marsh, goes to Trusty. Lincoln just want to try and keep a hold of the ball whenever they get it. It's now with Buyabu down the left-hand side. Lines up the cross, gets the cross into the box. Arahan heads it away. Basham out to the right to Sariki. Lincoln just trying to defend now. Sariki goes past Burrows, plays it across the area, deflected and cleared away by Lincoln City.
That's the bit of luck we needed. That could have gone absolutely anywhere, and it fell to Hamilton, who could just smash it clear. We needed that little bit of luck there. Sariki's just got Burrows a little bit on flat-footed here. Burrows looks like he's just breathing heavy. Sariki's just beginning to open him up a little bit.
Now a little bit of space for Marsh, tries to play it through edge of the area, falls to Asula. Asula gets the shot away, and that goes wide, and it will be Sheffield United's 5th corner of the evening. They're putting on the pressure with 3 to play, still goalless.
Oh, I'm getting nervous. There's bits of me that doesn't really want to watch, but you have to. Come on, Lincoln, just get your heads on it. Jensen, come and punch it. Just hope we get a little bit of luck if the ball breaks.
Norwood with the cross into the box. Jackson tries to head it away. Helped further clear by Mandroyu. Then Jackson, big left boot up into the air. Basham heads it back. Trusty tries to head it forward. It goes over the head of Ethan Arahan, and now there's space down the right for Norwood. Delivers the ball into the box. Jackson, the clearance goes behind, and for another corner for Sheffield United, and again a little bit of luck goes Lincoln's way with 2 to play.
That could have gone absolutely anywhere off Adam Jackson's left foot. He would have been hoping he was going to miss it that over the bar, and that's exactly what happened.
The Premier League side putting on the pressure with 2 to go. Can Lincoln see out another corner? They've got a player down at the moment, needing a bit of treatment. It's Alex Mitchell. You don't want to see him go off the pitch for a set piece, that is for sure.
No, you've got to get up and get on with it.
Can Lincoln see this through? Norwood delivers the corner once again, over the head of everybody. Who got a last touch on that? It'll be a Sheffield United throw.
So I think it was either Yovan Makama or somebody at the near post managed to get their heads on that. Good defending. We've been so good defensively tonight. Really, really good. Just don't want them to spoil it now.
Makama. Mandroyu back there defending. Basham plays it across to Norwood. Norwood tries to chip it into the box. Lucas Jensen, superb goalkeeping.
Oh, 3
comes
against
and
3.
gathers it. He does not even want to risk it, does he?
He didn't want to know.
No, and I think that's sensible. A minute to go. Doncaster Everton 1-1 now. Everton equalising there. They started at 8 o'clock, so they've got another quarter of an hour. I don't think I could take another quarter of an hour of this game. It is tense. We'll find out in the next 60 seconds how many minutes of added time we're going to have to see through. Mitchell on the halfway line, plays it forward for Makama, helps it into Bishop. Bishop, lovely turn from him, finds Sorensen. Sorensen tries to play it in the box. Great challenge in on Lass Sorensen, who stays down.
Get up, Lass. If you can get up, get up. Oh, brilliant.
Guillaume steps into the midfield to win it back and helps it out to Burrows, who, as I say, he's walking like a tin man, isn't he, at the moment? He is struggling, but he's done well to keep hold of the possession for Lincoln. Back to Ioma, now out to Mandroyu. Tries to help it down the left for Jovan Makama. We'll keep an eye on the added time when it does appear. Cleared long by Sheffield United,
that's a horrible ball to deal with Jackson.
Jackson's
he's done
really well. Ioma goes long. 4 minutes of added time.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. Where you got 4 minutes from?
It could have been a lot worse the first few weeks of the season, the amount of added
that
time
would have been 11. It would have been 11 minutes, wouldn't it?
Davies, the goalkeeper, has it for Sheffield United. Reminder, if it stays the same, it goes to penalties. Norwood in possession. Looks straight down the middle. Ioma heads it away. Picked off by Koulibaly on the halfway line. Lincoln trying to get into their shape. Across to Trusty. Now with Norwood once again. Basham coming forward from centre half. Looks up, plays it into Koulibaly. Hamilton tries to get there. Bishop tries to get there. Sheffield United have held on to the ball, though. It's out to Biabu on the left. Delivers the cross in. It's flicked towards goal, and that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, brilliant from Mitchell again at that near post. He's had a really good debut.
He's been superb, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been excellent.
One of the 4 down.
Honestly, I'm really kind of...
They've been brilliant,
is that clock actually moving?
They've been brilliant tonight, Lincoln.
Absolutely.
They've been brilliant. It's been so different from Saturday. Saturday's was a really good free-flowing attacking performance. This has been hard work, determination and grit, and they've shown it in
organised, just organised. The game plan organised, and the players have absolutely executed it to perfection.
2.5 to go. Jensen goes long. Makama tries to win the header, can't do so. Arahan flicks it forward for Mandroyu, who just plays it out to his left-hand side. Burrows has come forward, and he's left a little bit of space for Sariki to try and exploit, but Jackson is back there and clears it out for a throw for Sheffield United. 2 minutes 10 seconds gets us to 94. We're meant to have 4 added on. Ball is with Koulibaly.
Concentrate.
Out to Trusty on the left-hand side. Further wide to the left, Boyabu just slips. Sorensen tries to get there. Lincoln aren't able to get the ball back though. Now Norwood out to Traore. Traore trying to get past Burrows, takes a deflection on the way through, and Lincoln are going to have to see out another corner.
Yeah, well done from Burrows. Shifted his feet well there. Tired legs, and you've still got to shift your feet. And he did really well to get the block in. Again, just concentration levels. Again, just concentrate. Don't let anybody have a free header. Make it so difficult for somebody in there.
Norwood with the corner, headed towards goal and gathered by Lucas Jensen. Woo. From up here, that looked like that was heading bottom corner, but Lucas Jensen, the calmest man in Bramall Lane of a Lincoln City persuasion.
And brave.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire, 0-0, Sheffield United, Lincoln City here on Hope and Glory. The ball played forward, Makama fighting for it. Lincoln just want to see it down that end of the pitch now. Oh, lovely play from Sorensen into Jovan Makama, and Lincoln City have got themselves a corner.
Yeah,
it's the final minute of the game.
Listen to that support as well.
What do they do? Do they go for it?
You have to. You got to stick it in the box. You got to stick it in the box.
Jackson, Mitchell, forward for Lincoln.
You've got to make sure the edge of the box is covered for the break, because these Sheffield United players are quick. You need to make sure that we get that second phase covered if they kill us in the counter-attack. Lass Sorensen's got to come towards Ethan here.
Corner, comes into the box towards Ethan Hamilton, cleared away by Sheffield United.
This is important. Well done.
Burrows has kept it on the left wing. Needs a bit of help from Makama. Burrows still fighting for it. Oh, there we go. Mark Hone, we're heading to penalties.
I called it. I said denying the cart, we'd win it on penalties. Brilliant, brilliant display from Lincoln City. Great game plan, brilliantly executed by the players. I take my hat off to them, honestly. That is a shift and a half they have put in there. Fair play to them. And they deserve to win the penalty shootout for me, but then I'm biased.
Usually at this point we reflect on what we've seen and we talk through the opportunities. If we're being brutally honest, there has been very few. Lincoln's best chance came when Mandrew played the ball for Ted Bishop, who slid in and put it wide of the post. Sheffield United had a couple of dangerous moments. Femi Siriki broke free a couple of times. There was a couple of headers in on goal, but it's not been a game where we've had a lot of opportunities to talk about.
Yeah, Sheffield United caused us problems in the second half. They just quickened the pace up. The movement was better. The passing was a bit slicker. And so we were on the back foot for most of that second half, but we just kept our shape. We kept our discipline, and we restricted them to only, what, 2 or 3 chances in that half, the second half.
So we go to penalties. Danny Mandroy will take.
Ted Bishop.
Ted Bishop will take. This is when it gets a little bit more difficult, isn't it?
I don't know. It just now becomes a bit of a lottery, comes down to the goalkeepers, it comes down to your nerve. You know, Lincoln have expelled a lot of energy in that to defend.
And the Lincoln fans,
brilliant,
singing the Dam Busters behind our goal.
Yeah, great support. So whatever happens from now on, Rob, I'd just tip my hats to the players. They've been absolutely brilliant. They could not have given any more than what they've done tonight.
So,
how organised were they tonight? So well organised.
I'll get you man of the match, in fact, while we're waiting.
Blimey, I don't know. The side? Can I just pick all the players that have played?
You've got to go for someone.
You're just nasty, aren't you? You're just horrible to me.
I think. Look, if I had a choice of 3 that I would go for, I'd go for Alex Mitchell.
Yeah. As
one possibility. TJ Omer as a second possibility, and then I'd go Rico Hackett as the 3 potential. So I've narrowed it down to 3 for you.
Well, that doesn't really help, does it? Because all 3 of those have been absolutely superb tonight.
The penalties will happen in front of the Lincoln end.
Absolutely brilliant. And that's exactly what we want. Like I say, whatever happens now, they've been excellent tonight. Am I surprised? No, I expected it to be a difficult game for Sheffield United, and so it proved. Exactly what we were talking about in the car, wasn't it?
Yep.
Can we get that one bit of quality to punish them? And we haven't been able to do that. But I can't take anything away from defensively. The structure, the organisation. It's so difficult, Rob, when you're playing against a Premiership side, to get your distances right, to get your decisions right, to know when to step in, when to not step in. All them decisions have to be right.
So it's going to be Sheffield United who will go first. Now a reminder, Lincoln, their last penalty shootout, they lost to Accrington. Who was in goal for Accrington that day? Lucas Jensen. So, first up, Norwood against Jensen. First penalty. Lincoln fans behind the goal, trying to put Norwood off. Can Lincoln get an early advantage in this shootout? It's Norwood, he steps up right-footed and fires it into the bottom left-hand corner. You won't see a better penalty in this shootout.
Yeah, great pen. So Danny Mandreo now is going to have to match that, because that's a real good start for Sheffield United. Great penalty from Norwood. There's no stopping that. And Jensen's 6'6" and he got nowhere near that.
So it's Danny Mandroiu. Scored a penalty at the weekend in the win over Blackpool. Referee just having a word with Lucas Jensen, I think, just telling him to go a little bit further away. So a little bit of a wait here for Danny Mandroiu. Can he level it after the first penalty? Mandroiu steps up, right-footed! Oh, that is an even better penalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
top left-hand corner.
Yeah. Oh, Matt Chernow Razor. What a penalty that is. That again sets the scene. That sets the tone, doesn't it? You think Norwood's was good, that was even better. So follow that. I think it's the young man now, isn't it, for Sheffield United?
Yeah, Louis Marsh, the second half substitute. So he scored a hat-trick for the development side already this season. He's going to step up right-footed. Marsh against Jensen, and Jensen saves it! Lucas Jensen has saved it! Sheffield United say he came off his line, but the referee's having none of it. Ted Bishop next up.
Here we go. Can we see this home now? Can Teddy just make sure we stick this away and then put the pressure back on Sheffield United?
So it's Bishop, again, a penalty scorer from Saturday. He hit it straight down the middle on Saturday. What does he do here? Bishop steps up, oh, it's saved! The legs of Adam Davis, it wasn't the greatest of penalties, and we are 1-1 after 2.
Here we go. So many twists and turns in the penalty shootout. Oh, Teddy, Scotty just puts the pressure on them. Now it's back equal. We're back where we started.
Will Osula, the second half substitute, now up against Lucas Jensen. What can Jensen do here? Can he save another penalty? Osula against Jensen. Osula steps up, right-footed, and puts it bottom left-hand corner. Jensen didn't even move for that one.
No. Good penalty.
So 2-1 Sheffield United. They've had 3 penalties. Lincoln about to have their third. And looks like it's going to be Ethan Hamilton who will take the next penalty for Lincoln, former Accrington man. Can he level the scores at 2-2 after 3 penalties? Just places the ball for a second time on the spot. So left foot this time. Hamilton up against Davis. Fires it home, just to the right. That was full of power from Ethan Hamilton. We are 2-2 after 3 penalties apiece.
Yeah, I think Davis just thought he was going to go straight down the middle, so didn't really move. And Ethan Hamilton just smashed it just to the side of him. And once Davis set his feet, there was no way he was getting down to that.
Next up, it's Traore. Benny Traore for Sheffield United. Again, a half-time substitute, the number 11. Against Lucas Jensen. Penalty number 4, 2-2 at the moment. Traore takes a couple of steps back. He's going to run at this right-footed. Traore taking his time, is saved by Jensen! Goes down low!
Read it. He read it. Just the way, the angle of where he was running the Sheffield United play, you knew he was going to go that way. There's no way he could hook it back into the other corner. Jensen went, I know where you're going, and I'm just going to dive that way. And if it's not in the corner, I'm saving it, and that's exactly what happened.
So one Dane with the save, he passes it to a second. Lass Sorensen.
Come on, Lass. Stick this away, put the pressure on them.
This is the 4th penalty. Can Lincoln take a 3-2 lead in the shootout? Sorensen all the way from the edge of the penalty area, lines it up and puts it into the bottom right. Lincoln
here we go.
Are close, but they're not there. It is 3-2 to Lincoln. Sheffield United now with their 5th penalty. 3-2 to Lincoln after 4. And it's going to be the captain, John Egan, up against Lucas Jensen. Has to score this penalty. Egan against Jensen. It's BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Hope and glory. Egan up right footed. He's put it over. Lincoln are through. They've done it. They've knocked out the Premier League opposition. And the supporters are celebrating. The fans and the players are celebrating together. The players have all sprinted down to that end. Egan fired it over the bar. And Lincoln City have knocked out Premier League Sheffield United.
Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely brilliant. No more than they deserve. Get in there.
What a game. Let's talk through the shootout. That shootout, Lucas Jensen, we mentioned it just before the shootout, saved the penalties for Accrington against Lincoln. We knew he had that in him. He made 2 great saves. The first save of the 2, that was brilliant. The second one he guessed, and the third one, Egan blasted it over. But this is not luck tonight that Lincoln have got through, is it? This has been a really, really good, solid display from Mark Kennedy's side.
Absolutely, it is, Rob. They deserved that. Their defensive shape, the organisation, the decision-making from all the players had to be spot on to keep this Premiership side out, and they did that, and now they've got their just rewards with the penalty shootout. I told you that we'd win it on penalties, didn't I?
You're allowed back into Lincoln tonight. What? Look, this is amazing scenes. The Lincoln supporters chanting "We are Imps." The Lincoln players are making their way over to the penalty spot and the penalty area and are celebrating in front of them. They have knocked out a Premier League side. We know they've got history of it in the FA Cup, and now they've done it tonight in the League Cup as well. Those Lincoln City fans, I'm sure, like us, had nerves throughout that second half. There was little moments, but as we talked about before the penalties, Mark, the big thing about tonight, when you look over the game, it wasn't like Lucas Jensen had 20 saves to make, or there was 5 goal-mouth scrambles. I can think of 1 goal-mouth scramble, 1, probably 2 saves. That was that. Yeah, we just got that bit of luck with that loose ball, like you said. It just fell to Hamilton, who was able to hit it clear. Apart from that, yeah, Jensen's had to make a couple of good saves, but not full-strength saves, and they weren't carving us open. Yeah, they had good moments. They got in behind us in the last 10 minutes when our legs were just beginning to waver. But we always had somebody in position. We always had that one person that was able to then cover. Brilliant performance. Fist pump from Chris Ashton opposite us. Absolutely, he'll be made up with that, and I hope Dorian and George are watching or listening as well. That was phenomenal. What a night for Lincoln City. Mark Kennedy applauds the supporters. We came here full of hope, and I think that shows what's been happening with Lincoln City under Mark Kennedy. His best performances as a Lincoln City manager, whether that's in terms of the players on the pitch, but tactically in particular, have been when they've come away from home to teams where they're not expected to have a lot of the ball, and the game plan is there, and credit to the players tonight because they have executed that game plan perfectly. They have. Mark Kennedy sets his team out to be difficult to beat in games like this, but the players have to make the right decisions. They have to get the distances right. They have to know when to step in to tackle somebody, when to stay off that person, to cover gaps, know what the opposition are trying to do and try and preempt what the opposition are going to try and do. You have to be spot on with every decision you make, and when you get tired, that becomes really, really difficult. And towards the end, I wouldn't say we were rocking, but you could see the decision making, you could see the legs just beginning to waver, but we held on, and we held on without really Sheffield United pulling us apart. We were absolutely tremendous in that game. I can't speak highly enough of them. To come away to a Premiership side, regardless of it being Sheffield United, this club is is a Premiership side, and we have more than matched them at times in that game, and we had 1 or 2 good spells where we could have created something apart from our final ball, but at the end of the day, they couldn't break us down. If you're working at Dunham Bridge tonight, get prepared for thousands of Lincoln fans to come back with big smiles on their faces, because that has been a amazing, incredible evening. As a Lincoln City fan, they have knocked out Premier League Sheffield United in the League Cup, and this is a Premier League side that had plenty of their first team players. This is not a reserves they come up against. No, Paul Hickinbottom, like I said at the start of the programme, he gave us a lot of respect by putting the team out that he did, and he tried to bring the players on that he thought could change the game and get them that goal that would put them through, and we just didn't allow that to happen. I say, to go 95 minutes with a Premiership side, to make those kind of decisions defensively in a shape, all credit to the players. To have the concentration levels, to have the ability, to have the fitness, to have the technical ability to play in tight areas when you need to. Everything that Mark Kennedy would have wanted from his side, his players have produced that tonight. It has been.
This team are really, really good. They are really well organised. We've got people coming off the bench that can do jobs, as we've seen tonight.
You can hear them. Just listen to the Lincoln fans making plenty of noise behind the goal. So we're going to head down in a moment once Sheffield United fans have disappeared, because they're going to make it obvious that we're Lincoln fans with big smiles on our faces.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't want to get in trouble. So we'll head down shortly in a moment or two and get post-match reaction. I have no idea who we're going to be speaking to between now. We're going to stay a little bit later, past 10 o'clock, of course, as well, with post-match reaction. If you have to leave us, if you have to go to bed, the Hope and Glory podcasts will have all the reaction to come here on
Man of the
BBC Radio. Man of the match.
Right.
So I've had a few messages coming on Twitter going, surely it has to be Lucas Jensen.
Oh, yeah, do you know what? It's a good shout, that is.
It's a hard call.
That's a hard call, because for the defensive display, yeah, all right, Lucas Jensen. Yeah, go on.
You can change it as many times as you want. I really don't care tonight.
No.
So let's run through your full-time scores.
Bothered.
The one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on as well is the draw for the next round will be happening while we're pitch side. So we're going to have to rely on Beth at the studio to help us out with the draw, because we have no idea who they've got. So let's run through the full-time scores. Chelsea came from behind to beat AFC Wimbledon by 2-1. Madueke with a penalty, and Fernandez scoring the winner there. Elsewhere, Blackburn winning 8-0 at League Two side Harrogate. Emphatic victory for them. Burnley beating fellow Premier League side Nottingham Forest by 1-0. Abdouni with the goal there in injury time, and it is currently Doncaster 1, Everton 2. Doncaster had led in this game through Joe Ironside, but the new signing Beto and Aaron Danjuma 2 minutes from time looks to have seen Sean Dyche's side through to the next round. We will get post-match reaction for you here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire to an amazing night. Lincoln City knocking out Premier League side Sheffield United on penalties. It is BBC Radio Lincolnshire. You can hear the mowers in the background. We're down pitch side at Bramall Lane. The Lincoln fans are still making their way out in front of us. The few of the substitutes are just going through their post-match run-in. Mark Cohn has joined me alongside. As I say, we're waiting to get the draw for the next round as well, which is taking place any moment now. But what a night for Lincoln City.
Yeah. Of all the games I've done, that's a special night, absolutely special night, and I cannot give the players any more credit than what we've seen tonight. Mark Kennedy had a game plan, they stuck to the game plan, they executed it absolutely brilliant, and whether we're playing for penalties, who cares? At the end of the day, you're playing a Premiership side, you can't play an expansive game because you just get torn apart. So defensively, you have to be spot on. You have to make the right decisions. You have to get your distances right. You have to get your concentration levels right. You have to get your tackles right. You have to foul at the right times, not foul at the right times. Everything has to fall into place defensively, and they just carried it out to perfection. Absolutely brilliant performance. The energy levels, the technical ability, concentration, everything you want from your football team. And Mark Kennedy, his players, they've done tonight. Absolutely, all of them. Absolutely, all of them. Even the subs that come on just fell straight into the slot where they were supposed to be and made the right decisions. And they got what they deserved, a penalty win. And just watching the players run and the fans just exploding is just, that's going to leave long in the memory.
It's a special night for the football club. Lucas Jensen just speaking to some of our colleagues from BBC Sport. Again, superb penalty saves. And we didn't talk a lot about this in the game, but when he needed to tonight, he was calm and composed. He made good decisions when it came to coming claiming for crosses or whatever it might be.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 comfortable saves. One down to his right from Archer was good, because Archer really did hit that well, and he got down and did well with that. He made things look quite easy, and as a goalkeeper, that gives you confidence in front of you. And I think his performance just typifies what we did defensively. And then he comes up with 2 big penalty saves. The first one's good because he's a big lad, and he's really got down well to save that with his left hand. And then even I could read where the penalty was going with a comfortable save off the number 11 for Sheffield United, because he was never, his run up, he was never going to put it to his left, to Jensen's right, our left. He was always going to put it that side, and he read it and made a comfortable save. And then thankfully the skipper John Egan then blasted it over the bar for Sheffield United. But brilliant performance, and just a great night.
it's been a sensational night. Lincoln City ball number 32 in the draw for the third round of the League Cup. Reminder, Lincoln got to the fourth round last season. The third round stage they played Bristol City. We'll hear from Mark Kennedy. I imagine they're probably going to watch the draw first before they appear
We might be here a while.
pitchside. Yeah, we might be here a little while. But look, for Lincoln City tonight, every single player stood up and be counted. At first, you looked at the team and you thought, no Pordy O'Connor, a debut for Alex Mitchell, first start for Alex Mitchell, TJ Omer back in the side, Jaden Brown back in the side. But defensively, they didn't put a foot wrong.
They just bought into the game plan, didn't they? You know, the three players you've mentioned there, you know, they haven't played a lot of football. And you could tell Alex Mitchell was struggling with the last 15 minutes with cramp. Every time he cleared the ball or touched the ball, he was going down with cramp or he was cramping up. So we've got a decent centre half there, by the way. He looks a real prospect. I think TJ came in and his attitude was absolutely brilliant. And Jaden Brown, that's probably the best game I've seen him play in a Lincolnshire. I know he's not played many, but I thought he was outstanding tonight. I thought Bogle gave him a few problems early on, but once he worked out what Bogle was trying to do, he then matched him, and you know, he left him in a heap with about 15 minutes to go, didn't he? So, you know, with a really good tackle, strong tackle. So yeah, just really good from all round from Lincoln, and defensively, honestly, I can't speak highly enough of them. The defensive decisions you have to make. Even the front three defensively have to make the right decisions, and they just did it to an absolute T and restricted Sheffield United to very limited chances.
Pordy O'Connor's been on social media tonight. He missed the game through illness. He's put "get in lads," a couple of love heart emojis. What a result for the boys, and you know, he would have been gutted to miss out, but the defensive players we talked about, TJ Omer, Alex Mitchell, standing up and be counted, and although Lincoln didn't have too many opportunities, how important were the front three tonight in managing to keep Lincoln shape?
They were. Well, Norwood was literally trying to get it off Egan from about 10 yards away from him. You know, so he was really important.
We're going to be joined by, well, I suppose they're all heroes tonight, but a man who certainly had a part to play in the penalty shootout, and that's Lucas Jensen. Well, we knew you could save penalties from last season, your exploits with Accrington, but you did it again tonight.
Yeah, I did, but it was not my main focus. My main focus was to keep a clean sheet, because it seems like we've got a good run of not conceding goals, and that's obviously all that matters, because whether you win or lose, the keeper always wants to have a clean sheet, and to have that again is a great feeling, because that will set up the team to hopefully, if we score a goal, win the game. And do you know what? I don't mind the game going to penalties, because I love it. And again, to do it in front of all our fans that side is it's an amazing feeling to have 3,000 fans cheering us and celebrating with them after the game.
Yeah, let's talk about the 90 minutes first off, because in terms of the actual game, it wasn't too busy in terms of shot stopping that you had to do. How much of a credit should go to your defence and the rest of the outfield players for that?
Oh, all the credit. I couldn't do without them. It's a game of 11 men against 11, and no one is better than the other one. So when we stay together and we have a good structure, like we showed today, and we showed like for the first 5-6 games of the season, we can come away with anything, even against the Premier League team, and we showed that today. So to have a win against Premier League team is something we'll definitely take on to Saturday.
Let's talk through the shootout then. The two saves you made, how pleased were you, especially with that first one? That was struck with real power.
Do you know what? I feel like I could have saved the first one as well, so I feel like I can save all of them if I choose the right size, because my size is quite big as well. So to save the second one got me off to a good start. After the first one I choose the right side. I felt good, and then going into the second one I felt even better when I saved it. And then obviously I saved one more, and then they put it over the bar. So do you know what? It all worked out, and big credit to my goalie coach, because he helped me a long way, because I think they nicked my bottle, so I couldn't see where they're going to shoot. So it was up in there, and I looked at him, and he helped me on the way.
And that final one, when it goes over the bar, as supporters, I'm sure it feels like it's slow motion as the ball appears over the bar. What's it like as a goalkeeper in that moment when you know it's the penalties going over and you know Lincoln have got through?
Oh, it's the best feeling, because after the second one I knew we only one to go, then we win the game. I must have done something right to put the pressure on him to put it over the bar, because obviously trying to smash it, and it didn't work. So when I saw it went over the bar, I turned around and celebrated with all the fans, because again, to see that many fans here is unbelievable. And luckily we could give him a little bit on the way home to cheer for, and then hopefully we'll have the same support for Saturday against Bristol.
Yeah, what was that moment like as you turned around and you had near enough 3,000 smiling faces beaming back at you?
I don't think you can describe it. You have to be in the moment, and that's what I did. All the feelings just coming out, emotions. So it's probably one of the best feelings in football. First of all, to win a game, to get a clean sheet, and then to help the team win on penalties is obviously my job, but I will take.
Years and years and starstruck on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Rob Makepeace with you for Hope and Glory, reflecting on what has been a brilliant night for Lincoln City, knocking out Premier League side Sheffield United on penalties after a 0-0 draw at the end of the 90 minutes. We're still awaiting the draw for the third round. Lincoln City ball number 32 in that draw. This is the stage where the big guns of the Premier League, the European sides in the Premier League come in. Mark Hone, you can't dream too far ahead, as we know last year. I think we felt disappointed when we saw Bristol City away at the next stage. But look, Lincoln will be really excited. We're going to hear from Mark Kennedy shortly. They'll be really excited by what's to come, and they don't need a distraction from the league because the league's going well, but it's a nice distraction as well, isn't it?
It is, especially when you've had a performance like this and you beat the Premiership side. You can't help but look forward and see what the third round's going to bring you. And there's two sides to this. You either get a really big, top six side, either at home or away, however that turns up, or you get, no disrespect, but a lesser side, and that gives you a chance to go back into the fourth round like we did last season. So, whatever the draw is, whatever gets thrown up, we've got a chance. We've proven that. Because if you go to the top six, they're not going to play half a dozen first-team players like Sheffield United did tonight. They're going to play the reserves and the youngsters. So that gives you a chance. So bring it on. Let's see what the third round brings us.
Yeah, a couple of the Sheffield United coaches just having a chat with Lucas Jensen, who's still out here having a conversation with a couple of supporters. Lincoln City, I'm not going to regale the stat that Mark Kennedy said yesterday, because I can't remember it off the top of my head in all the confusion, but there's been so many draws in the League Cup where Lincoln have had an away tie, and they're almost due a home one, aren't they?
Yeah, we've done a fair bit of travelling, didn't we, last season?
Barrow, Bristol, Southampton. Yeah.
So it'd be quite nice to have a biggie at home, wouldn't it? Let's get a top six side at home and just like I say, just bring it on. Let's just see what the draw brings, and we'll just go from there. So I think Mark Kennedy's just doing some other interviews, so we'll get him in a minute. But whatever the draw is, let's bring it on. A home draw would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Whoever that's against. So just checking my phone just to see we've got Bev on the draw. So it's like I say, let's enjoy tonight first. If you're a Lincoln City supporter, enjoy tonight. The third round, whatever it draws up, we'll when it comes to it, we'll enjoy it again. But tonight you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy nights like this, because to beat a Premiership side, away from home on their own patch, that sits very nicely. And I'll wake up tomorrow at 6 when the alarm goes off and I've got to go to work, and sitting in the car and going, that was some night. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, if you're making your way home tonight, heading back to Lincoln and listening to us here on Hope and Glory on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, then hopefully you've had a wonderful night. And I'm sure if you've got any photos, do send them to us on social media, on Facebook, BBC Radio Lincolnshire Sport. I'd love to see your photos and videos of the moment where it went blazing over the bar.
People must have had their phones out with that last penalty. I would have done if I'd have been in there. So send us your videos. I know a couple of the media guys here. One's got a really good video that hopefully he's going to put on social media of all the players running towards him. He was literally just stood by the goal. So anything that you can just bring, just to just to go through that emotion again would be great.
And you was part of that League Cup run that Lincoln had when they had some great experiences, and people still talk about that. 25 years on plus. Moments like tonight, those players, people will be able to remember Lucas Jensen's name. He will be part of Lincoln City folklore now.
Exactly. You've come to a Premiership side and you've beaten them. Unfortunately we didn't beat Southampton that time, but we gave them a really good run for their money. And dare I say, they were probably a better Premiership side than Sheffield United. I might go with that a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You know, you've come to a Premiership side and beaten them, and yeah, like you say, the players deserve all the credit, because that is to put that amount of effort in, to the concentration levels, the physical ability to be able to hold a side that's 2 divisions above you. You know, let's not forget, you know, there was £30 million worth of centre forwards playing against you today.
Who got subbed off after an hour.
Exactly. And there might be reasons for that. But Ollie McBurney, he had one shot that Jayden Brown blocked, and Cameron Archer had one shot that Jensen saved. We've restricted them. 30 million quid's worth of centre forwards, we've restricted them to one chance each. I can't praise the players enough tonight. Sometimes I'm critical of them, and I will be critical of them. But tonight, I cannot fault them. I cannot fault them in any respect of what they've done tonight.
Yeah, Mark Kennedy's doing some other interviews, then he'll be heading our way here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire to get your post-match reaction. Reminder that if you miss any of the interviews, if you just jumped in the car at Sheffield and you just maybe getting the signal back, heading back to Lincolnshire, we've already spoke to Lincoln City's goalkeeping hero, Lucas Jensen. You can catch that on the Hope and Glory podcast, which will be available for you later on this evening. We're still awaiting the draw as well. We're frantically keep checking our phones to see what's happening. Reminder, Lincoln City are ball number 32 in the draw.
It'll be late. It's always late, isn't it?
It's when you watch it at home, you want it to happen, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's always late. They never organise it and get it out on time. So,
yeah, we'll wait and see. Lucas Jensen just having a chat with a couple of people pitch side, and he's going to head back into the tunnel. And as I say, it's interesting with Lucas Jensen. There was a self-confidence when he talked about penalties and coming to penalties. And the first one, we said we wouldn't see a better penalty, and to be fair, Danny Mandroya's was probably better, but there was just a self-confidence. He even said, I could have saved that first one, and we thought the first one was world-class.
Well, he could have saved it, but the penalty was that good, in my opinion, that I don't think he had a chance. But certainly the first penalty save he did, low down, was really, really good. The second one was telegraphed. You could tell where he was going to put it by his run-up. Because if he'd have tried to put it in the other corner, he might have dislocated his knee. So he was always going to go to Jensen's, left-hand side, and he read it, and it was a comfortable save for him. So, what I like about him, his size. He's a big lad. He's 6'6". I mean, he towers over me, and yet when you see the Sheffield United players coming up to take the penalty, he's right in front of them. So he literally goes, "This is my size. You've got to try now and beat me." So there's intimidation there. There's a confidence there of, I'm going to save that penalty, you're going to strike. And then when he goes back on his line, mentally, the players that are taking the penalty have got to go, oh, he's a big lad. And they've got to then, so it's all mental games. It's all, in his term, it's mental preparation. But there's also the mental side for the players taking the penalties against him, because he is a big lad. So, yeah, fair credit to him. I thought he had a really good game. His decision-making was good as well, went to come and punch. Everything he did was neat and tidy. So, yeah, dare I say, almost a perfect evening for Lincoln City. The only thing they didn't do was win it in normal time. That's the only thing you could have gone. The corner in the last minute would have been unreal. But what a great night. Absolutely brilliant. Great night.
Certainly was. Still waiting to hear from Mark Kennedy, the Lincoln City head coach here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. He's just speaking to our colleagues from 5 Live, and then he'll be heading our way. As here, the mowers constantly going on in the background. They've got a big game here this weekend against Everton to prepare for. Reminder, Lincoln City are back in action on Saturday. They take the trip down to the west to Bristol Rovers. You can hear commentary of that with Michael Horton and a mystery match summariser who will reveal on Friday. He'll be joining Michael. It's really hard not to say his name. When you know these things, it's really hard not to say. But yeah, he'll be joined by a mystery match summariser on Saturday afternoon. Reminder, the build-up begins with the Hope and Glory podcast Thursday evening from 7, and then you have got the... in fact, it won't be Thursday evening from 7, it'll be Friday from 7, because tomorrow is the players' day off, so they won't be there, and we're on Wednesday, and I'm getting confused by days, so it'll be Friday. You'll get your pre-match podcast, you'll get the Hope and Glory preview show as well, which will be available for you, and then Saturday afternoon commentary from 2 o'clock of the Imps at Bristol Rovers. There's a few more Sheffield United staff just making their way down from the gantry area and back pitch side, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing from Paul Heckingbottom, the Sheffield United manager, who's just been in doing his press conference as well, and he won't be too happy, I'm sure, seeing his side lose once again. A reminder that the draw is due to take place at any moment. We are down pitch side, we've got no access to monitors or anything like that, so we have no idea when it comes to what's going to happen with regards to the draw. So Mark, you're on draw watch, so I give you the permission to interrupt me if needs be, if we do find out what the draw is for the next round of the competition. But Mark Kennedy, victorious manager, joins us pitch side. Well, good night, that.
Yeah, really good. I thought the lads were outstanding. I thought discipline was incredible. Tactical game plan. It's all well and good me standing here and saying that this is what we put in, but to have the ability to be coachable and go and execute it. I thought the guys were outstanding, and on the ball in transition I thought we looked a real danger. Admittedly both keepers had a quiet game, but I thought we had some really good nearly moments tonight, and I don't think anybody could argue with us taking Sheffield United to penalties tonight.
How pleased are you with the discipline shown by your side tonight to execute that game plan?
Super impressed, but not surprised. I see it most weeks. When you play at League One, probably one thing you don't get, or probably one thing that costs a lot of teams, is consistency, and that's understandable, but we are incredibly consistent of who we are and what we do. And I thought tonight, I was really confident of that happening tonight, but look, if we come here tonight and lose 3-0, would I be really shocked? No, I wouldn't, because they're a Premier League side, but am I really shocked that we've come and had a clean sheet and taken a team to penalties and won? No, I'm not at all, because I see it every day with the group. And I said to them after the game, people say that, really proud of you, and you hear it all the time. The guys should be really proud of each other. Players, staff, fans, everybody should be really proud to be connected with Lincoln tonight.
I know you won't want to praise individual players necessarily, but one player I do want to pick out is TJ Omer. We've talked a lot about him in the last couple of weeks. You've talked a lot about his leadership away from the pitch and dealing with the disappointments that he's had, and he came back in tonight and was superb.
Yeah, he was amazing. Am I surprised? No. It's a really hard one for TJ because he played 3 or 4 of the first games, and then he hasn't been on. He's not on the bench because he's not a good player. He's not on the bench because we have a tactical implementation of who we put a sub and what. I'm not going to have 6 centre halves, like I'm not going to have 6 forwards. So we have to have defenders, we have to have midfielders, we have to have attackers. So he's been really unlucky, and I feel for TJ because I feel we've got a very close relationship, and one of the reasons it's been so close because we've had a lot of conversations since I've been at the club. Sometimes about disappointment, sometimes about not playing, but he's somebody I really admire as a human being, and I say that confidently. He should be very proud of how he conducts himself. He's trained really hard, and I'm not surprised by his performance. He's a really good player. Very proud to have them at the club. And yeah, as you've asked me the question, but was I shocked by his performance? Not at all. He was outstanding, but that's how he's performed since I've been at the club.
He was on the wrong side of a Lucas Jensen penalty masterclass last season. He talked in the build-up about losing his bottle and that preparation. How pleased are you that he was able to just reset himself and go and execute again a superb penalty shootout, saves, a couple of saves?
Outstanding. I heard, I don't know who it was, well, we do, somebody threw their bottle into the crowd, but Logan deserves a huge amount of credit for the stuff we do to him now. Scott Fry again outstanding. Lucas to have the ability to go and execute that. Jordan Wright for how he pushes him day in, day out. Like, Jordan will be bitterly disappointed he didn't play tonight, but we see the level of Lucas because of the qualities that Jordan shows us day in, day out. But when we played Accrington last year, really confident that we'd get through to the next round because of Jordan Wright in goal, and he saves a lot of penalties and he got us to that. But when I seen Lucas in goal, I was like, Jesus, really? And normally he's good. His confidence, his agility. He's a really good goalkeeper. He's a really good shot stopper. And if you're taking a penalty, you get Lucas, you're stepping up thinking, I have to literally bury this in the corner. So it puts doubt into people's heads. I'm fine talking about Lucas because he deserves all the credit, but everybody played their part tonight. Subs that come on, lads who started, staff, people in the background. Big night for everybody.
You've had some great away days while you've been here as manager, both in League and Cup. Where does this rank?
Amazing. It's a Premier League club. To come away from home, be so good out of possession. We were very good at times in possession. Clean sheet away from home against a Premier League side is not easy. And I thought we deserved that, and I say that respectfully because I'm not saying we should have won 2 or 3-0. I'm not saying we were better than Paul's team, but I thought we earned the right to go to penalties. bit of a lottery after that. But yeah, it's as good a night as anybody's had, and it wasn't a massive crowd tonight, but we had 3,000 fans. It was electric for us. It felt like a home game, and when you get to penalties, there's just that. How galling would it be to go away, to be so near, and yet actually it can be so far. So just really, really pleased for the fans that they get the rewards that I think they'll feel the players deserved as a team. I wrote a look a little bit towards the last 10 minutes, but yeah, I thought we deserved it in the end. But I couldn't argue if Sheffield United had come away. I'm not saying we should have won 2 or 3, Jesus Christ, not at all. But a brilliant night for the club.
Ben House came off at half-time. Was that always planned with Saturday in mind, or is he picked one up?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm really, really respectful of the staff. I keep saying to stay in your lane. We came in, the guys were like, I think it was his hip, blah, blah. I said, do you want him to stay? He said, I'll take him up. Well, get him off then, no problem. So I don't know how good or bad that is, but we've got brilliant staff, and good leadership is letting people grow, letting people, giving them autonomy to make decisions, and that's what we do with the staff. And our sports science, performance and medical department we're very, very, very lucky to have. So, and that's what substitutes are for.
Finally, say it's a quick turnaround to Bristol Rovers on Saturday, but one thing that will be in there is confidence and joy and happiness.
Yeah, for sure, and that's what winning gives you. I mean, unfortunately, to lose a cup tie, you have to taste defeat, and nobody enjoys that. So nobody enjoys losing games, and likewise, winning games breeds confidence. It just looked, tonight was just evidence of what we've done for 15 months, not 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 6 months. So it just emphasises what I think we're doing at the club, and we cannot get carried away. Yeah, not getting carried away. It's a great result. Good luck. Well done. Enjoy tonight. Wake up tomorrow. Start again.
Hard for the supporters not to, though.
No, I know. I get it. And do you know what I said to the guys before the game? Like, without rattling on, because my interviews go on a bit. I talk too much. I understand that, but I took a 23s game. 23s football is amazing for what it's for and the reason behind it. But I remember taking a 23s game, Premier League 23, and stood there thinking, this is just really boring. It's not real. And I said to the guys before, tonight is what real football looks like. But you need the 23s football to get to tonight. So there's a reason why I get it. It's brilliant, an outstanding environment to walk in. I loved it. But tonight is what you get up for. Win, lose or draw, this is what you come to work for. So embrace the moment. Please God, you'll have loads of these in your career again. But if you can't get excited about things like tonight, get yourself to the job centre tomorrow.
Well done, tonight, Mark. That's Mark Kennedy with us on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We're still awaiting the draw for the third round of the League Cup. It is happening right now. So, Mark, we'll continue talking while this draw takes place. You're going to have to keep your phone in front of you and just
I've got Michael and Beth texting me.
They're keeping us updated with what's going on. So we'll wait and see, and we'll either get a big cheer or a groan probably of who we've got. Let's just hope it's a home tie. Look, Mark, I talked to him there. I said it's hard for the fans to not get excited, and it is. It's been a great start in the league. We think that Northampton game, if that had gone differently and they'd hung on, they could be top of the table, joint top of the table. They've won tonight. It's hard not to get carried away.
Yeah, but there's processes that need to go into play. They'll have a day off tomorrow. They've got to come in Friday. They'll probably travel down Friday afternoon, maybe to Bristol. So, they've got to go back to work. At the end of the day, enjoy it tonight. Full of confidence going into the Bristol game. But you've got to go back to work. It's the league. You've got to go and win the next game and the next game. And you've just got to trust in the processes and trust what Mark Kennedy and his backroom staff are going to do. So,
it's a home tie for Lincoln City. They are at home. We're just about to find out who it's against. This is without us being able to see a screen, so we're relying on... It's a home tie against West Ham United. Home against West Ham in the next round. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, that... I'm just going to text Michael back very quickly. I can't do two things at once, but yeah, that's amazing. Right. I mean, wow. Yeah, come on, bring it on. Let's get the Hammers to our place, and let's see what team they bring. It's just that's wow. Ticket office at Lincoln, wasted space because that's going to be a full house at Central Bank.
European champions coming to Sincilbank. I know it's the Conference League, they're still
Don't
European
matter,
champions.
don't matter. Yeah, they sing that as well, don't they? So I'm sure that'll be coming out. But yeah, I can't wait for that. Absolutely, the Sincilbank will be rocking, and it will just be wow. Okay, that's why I commentate. That's why you commentate, and Michael does it because you have nights like this, and it's just, that's a special night tonight. But that's going to be another special night, and yeah, I'm just made up. I'm made up for the football club. I'm made up for the fans. I just hope. Well, not everybody's going to get a ticket, are they? Unfortunately, so it's what an amazing draw that is. Just when we were thinking about last year's draw, and it was the travelling, and no disrespect to the Bristol Cities and to the Southamptons, you wanted a home game against a top 6, top 8 team, and we've got it now. So yeah, that's going to be an amazing night.
Well, more reaction in the coming days to that League Cup draw for Lincoln City at home to West Ham United in the third round of the competition. That's sure to be an exciting night, but it's been a pretty special night as well here at Bramall Lane as Lincoln City knock out Premier League opposition.
Egan up right footed, he's put it over! Lincoln are through! They've done it! They've knocked out the Premier League opposition!